Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tuesday Night TerrorVision. I am your host, Etep from the Place to Be Reviews, right back here with all of yous. I am joined by Mrs. Co-host Trina from... Where are you from, Trina?
I'm from Real Horror. Nice to see you and looking forward to this stream. And welcome, Tyler.
Hi, how's it going?
And yes, that is our guest for the evening, Tyler Wooten. Am I saying it right? Wooten?
Yeah, Wooten.
Okay, I want to...
Wooten. You know, I've heard
Wooten.
all of them under the sun, but it's Wooten.
Okay, I want to make sure because, you know, I get the whole Midwest and I pronounce things wrong. So I just want to make sure because, trust me, I've heard my name pronounced a million and one ways. So, yeah, I know it can be annoying at times. And Tyler's link is right there in the chat right now, and it's in the description to the video. So you can go over there and subscribe. You should subscribe. He's one of our guests. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Got a fantastic channel, great content. And what got you into this, Tyler?
So you're asking what got me into horror, or what got me into...
What got you into horror? What got you into horror?
What got me into horror? Man. So what got me into horror was I 100% have to thank my mom for that. Because she showed me my first horror movie when I was 3. She rented Freddy vs. Jason because it was my first horror movie I ever watched. And I remember just being awestruck, just looking at the TV. And I remember when the movie ended, my mom was like, that sucked. I was like, can we watch it again? And she's like, no, I want to watch All My Children or Days of Our Lives or something. And I'm like, okay. Well, I didn't know what the internet was back then. I don't even know if it was a thing at that point. I was 3. But then from there, I did my own kind of like snooping around my mom's DVD collection. My mom had like easily like 2,000 to 3,000 DVDs in a cabinet alone, and top to bottom, just horror and like 80s classics. Well, also some chick flicks, which I've come around to those as well. But I didn't know what a DVD player was at that time, so I found some VHSs. I found Lucio Fulci's Blood Feast. Or no. Wait, is it Lucio Fulci? No. Oh God, what is his name? Oh my God, I forget his name. Oh, I found Blood Feast. I found that on the VHS. I found Savage Weekend, and I found Friday the 13th, the original, on VHS. And then just from there, I just ran those tapes dry. And finally, at some point, I was like, I knew how to work a remote to the TV, and I just searched for all the horror that I can at that point. And ever since then, it's just gotten more and more progressively just like I live and breathe this stuff.
Dude, that's the way so many of us are. It's like a parent or an older sibling or a cousin will be like, oh, hey, check this out. And, you know, they're trying to scare you. And then next thing you know, you're like, can we watch more? Because that's...
Yeah.
My mom was like that. It was Universal Monsters. And one of the earliest horror memories I have was Salem's Lot and the kid hovering outside the window that scared the shit out of me. And it's eerie. Yeah. And the imagery, that was great. I like the vampire genre, but not as much as slashers. Like I was born 19, like I said, my birthday's Friday. I'll be 44 on Friday. And
happy early birthday.
Thank you. You guys can, out there, if you're watching on X or Rumble, feel free to super chat me, it's fine. I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm doing a live stream on Friday or not. We might do some Resident Evil 5 tomorrow, but that's another story. But no, it was sitting down with my mom and then my older cousins and getting into like the vampire movies. And then it was like, these are slashers. Here's my mom, I remember watching Halloween 4, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I fucking love that movie.
It is. I definitely caught that from the stream.
Oh,
the shirt you were wearing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that at Horror Hound last month, and I was like, I was like, I need to buy that. That is gonna happen. So, but no, I just, and Trina, you're the same way, wasn't it? When you were a kid, like very young, you kind of got into this same way.
Yeah. It was I don't know. I think I might have been like 11 or 12. I was young, and I saw The Exorcist, and yeah, that was scary. But I didn't really get into horror until later on. and that was with the original Halloween. And that's why I have, a soft, like, that's why Michael Myers means a lot to me. So yeah, but yeah, that Exorcist at that age was bad.
The Exorcist is scary, but now if you look at it, it just, I don't know, it doesn't seem as frightening as when you, like, I saw it when I was kind of younger too. And yeah, the score of that movie is frightening enough. The tubular bells, that's scary enough as it is. And then the whole atmosphere and everything. And Linda Blair was fantastic in that movie. But
yes, she was definitely. Yeah, now it doesn't. It's like I laugh at some parts, but back then it was like this is absolutely terrifying. It kept me up at night, and I would pray like constantly.
I've never had a movie that made me pray, but I will say this about The Exorcist. For some reason, it went under my radar, even though it's like one of the most popular horror films. I didn't watch that till I was like 20. I was like, oh, I'm finally getting around to watching The Exorcist. And even through the first time watching, I'm like, I can see how this had the impact that it did, especially back then. But now it's like, okay, that was disturbing, but I've seen worse.
Yeah.
It's definitely got the third Exorcist movie's really good too. I have to mention that. I think the second one is almost better than the third. George C. Scott is fantastic in that. And that little old woman crawling on the ceiling will never not freak me the fuck out. That shit scared the bejesus out of me.
I don't know how I started, but I watched the second and the third. And I think I watched like the other like one-off ones because there's so many like the exorcism or exorcist movies, like, Emily Rose and then all those. But I remember watching the second one and the third one in a row. Like I was also stoned back then because that's when I was like doing my little pothead phase. But then I was like, oh, and then I couldn't find the first one to watch. But yeah, those two were definitely a little bit better. But the second one is not as good as the first one, obviously. The third one though is, that's
third
where
one
I think
is
it's
really
a sweet spot.
It did. It was surprising because usually by the third movie, these franchises, some of them, I mean, let's be honest, Nightmare on Elm Street excluded because Dream Warriors is arguably one of the best movies in that entire run. I fucking love Dream Warriors. And
Dream Warriors is
and Friday the 13th Part 3, the 3D, if you take the 3D aspect out of it, that is a great movie because Richard Brooker as Jason was like hulking in that. And his movements were just, I really liked that. So, but so Exorcist 3, there are some good Part 3s out there. What wasn't good was the movie that we're going to review and we're going to talk about first off tonight. Holy shit. I have seen some, and I love schlock. I do. I have seen some fucking bad movies. I was in the theater and saw The Last Jedi in 2017 and was ready to punch my coworker who took me to see it. I sat through Velocipaster and was physically angry at the end of the movie. Is this kid in the dinosaur suit keep fighting these Dollar General ninjas? Jesus. So this movie, I can picture, because this probably came to fruition in about 79, 78. They started to have meetings. Hey, look, I got an idea. And as they're sitting there just... So what we're gonna do is we're gonna imitate Halloween and Friday the 13th. But we don't have much money to work with. And we don't have shit for CG. We don't have shit for special effects. What can we do? And they're like, we got you, fam. And they went and just to like a regular summer camp. We're like, hey, kids, want to be in a movie? And they're like, what the fuck are you? Who are you? Where are my parents? Like, no, really, we're not. You're going to be in a movie. And they're like, what movie is it? And we're like,
and then there's a kid who's like, I'll go home. I'll just go home.
Yeah, I'll go home. I'll go home. There's the Madman screen cover right there. And that is about the best image of him you'll see. And I say that as
absolutely.
you get him in full view in the movie, but Trina, I killed her with the message I sent her. I don't like to laugh at my own material, but like I was messaging her and I'm like dead ass, like fucking my stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard trying to explain the feelings I had for this movie. I'm just like, I don't, but this is from 1981. So, this is like the fueled by cocaine and whiskey and probably yeah. I don't need to talk about the cast. There's nobody in this. The director it doesn't matter who directed this. They're like, it doesn't matter who directed this. They're terrible. And I honestly, I never wish harm upon anybody, but I sincerely hope that everybody involved with this movie is dead. Because I don't want them to hear what I'm about to say about this. This is one of the biggest piles of shit I've ever watched. And I took 2 pages of notes on this before I tapped out. I'm like, okay, I can't do it. I can't take notes on this anymore. But the opening scene, this is the worst wandering minstrel I've ever heard as he's wandering around. Now I'll tell you a tale about axe murderers. He had a mangled face. I was like, with the part of his face where she had a bloody gash on her face. I'm like, oh God, where's Vinny? But I mean, I just, there's no way that this is a real song he's singing. Like this song was passed down from generation to generation about the mad axe farmer. And he's just around the farm. Like, what the fuck is this? And we're like 2 minutes into the movie, not counting the credits. And I'm like, fuck it. TV up. Hold on.
I definitely like felt that at some point, but like I said, this was my not my first time watching this. In the email I mentioned that, so I watched it again and I was like, man, like, can I just like skip past like this part where they're around the fire pit, because there's nothing. There is nothing. No. Even with like the 2 characters like being like, oh, I love you, but like I don't need you. But I'm like, no one cares. No one cares.
No. And I love the guy at the camp, Max. I just called him the mustache man. That's the exposition right there. That's the big exposition dump to set everything up as him. Because you get Richie or TP. I'm sorry, TP for my bunghole. TP. Him fucking doing the fucking monkey man dance around the campfire and singing his little song. And then Max is like, let me explain this so the audience can understand it. You fucking pleb. So Max breaks it down for us. And he tells, I remember because he said it's the anniversary of when the farmer killed his family. And I'm like, I like the sound of the axe hitting the heads, though. I was like, that sounds like an axe hitting bone. Not that I know what that sounds like, but it's what it sounds like. It did. It just, I was like, ooh, that sounded like it kind of made me go, oh, that's like that's the best thing I've heard so far. At all, and all dialogue included was that 1 millisecond sound effect. Was that, I was like, okay, that sounds good.
And you're just
thoughts?
hoping it picks up from there.
Yeah, it's like we can't go any fucking lower. And they're like, hold my beer. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Oh, we're well beyond that, Jerry.
This was so bad. This was so bad. Like there are. Okay, so there are like B movies, schlock movies and stuff that don't try to be good. This was a shitty movie that tried to be good, and it just didn't work. It really didn't work at all. And you could totally tell that they were trying to like be another Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. And it was just no, it was a total miss.
It's like it's like they were just going off the cuff. They're like, so what do we do next? I don't know.
I know.
Just put the camera in the forest and just look at them. Just completely rip off Halloween. At that point, just no one would notice. Shh.
And they did
the movie no one will catch.
They did a music cue for every time they would. So it's like, okay, we know we're from the killer's point of view now. Like, I couldn't fucking tell what I was looking, like what perspective I was looking from, you coked up retard. Like, Jesus. Like, fuck.
He's not
like,
wrong,
and it was, they were so trying to imitate, like, I mean, like, Friday the 13th was like, we're going to rip off Halloween. And these guys were like, we're just gonna rip off everything, like everything,
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like a lot of people like put this, like they say it's kind of like in the same like realm as like The Burning, but like The Burning is like so much better than this. At least in my opinion, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't think of a movie that's worse than this right now. I think I'm just traumatized by it.
I have one that I thought, I'm like, hey, it's 1995, Alyssa Milano, and I had a thing for Alyssa Milano in the 90s, was Embrace of the Vampire. And I was like, not even Alyssa Milano before she went insane could save that movie. Yeah, but that still didn't top the rage and unbridled hatred I have for Madman. And I love how this guy, like, you have to yell his name 3 times, which basically has the same effect as like Candyman and Beetlejuice and Pumpkinhead and Harvey Weinstein. So there's
Bloody
all of
Mary.
these, all Bloody Mary, all of these monsters that you can summon by saying their name. Madman Mars. So it's MM3 here. Madman Mars. Yes. So Richie yells his name because Richie ain't afraid of no fucking axe wielding mongoloid. He's not afraid of him. Richie's not scared. Richie Cunningham ain't scared, baby. So Richie sees him in the tree when they're walking back. Like, I love the guy's like, double time, let's go in place. I'm like, what is this, fucking jazzercise? Like, what are we doing,
exactly.
What are we doing here?
Just standing there and just doing this.
Yeah.
You're gonna start walking, or
we gotta get back to the cabins and get ready to go. Okay, march in place for no reason, guys. Like, we're really not. There's no script. We're making this up as we go. We're all high as fucking kites. And why is there's like one random little girl there? Like, what the fuck? Oh, well, you should have put the little ones in bed. There's like 8 kids at this whole camp, and they pan, and the camp's fucking huge, and there's like 8 people there. I'm like, this is budget. This is all we had for the cast. We couldn't kidnap any more people and hold them at gunpoint and tell them to be in this fucking movie, apparently. But that was something. And okay, so Betsy, the blonde. I just am going to refer to her lovingly as Forehead for the rest of this movie, because the first shot where they framed her face, I'm like, I say this as somebody who shaves his head. This bitch has more forehead and eyeballs than I'm like, why would they do? What is that shot? Like, is this like the fishbowl lens? Like, why does she look like that? I don't know. And then it was just the angle, but she did have a lot of forehead, and she was just,
the forehead seems to be really just like making him steam. He's like,
this entire cast, it's like they had the generic Freddie Mercury, with the little pencil thin mustache. They had generic Freddie Mercury. You had Dave, who was like, look at me, I'm Dave. You know, that guy, the blonde guy, and then you had the curly haired chick who was like, Mom, can we have Adrienne Barbeau? We have Adrienne Barbeau at home, and it's this curly-headed bitch from Madman. Not the same, Mom. Not the same at all.
But thanks for trying, I guess.
Yeah. No. Ooh, he's trying. Existence is pain, Jerry. Existence is pain to a Meeseeks. That's how much I hate this. I'm making Rick and Morty references. Jesus Christ. Stacy, the man. That is the man. Speaking of hate, the man-hating feminist Stacy. I was waiting for her to die. I'm like, just please kill her. Like, she reminded me of one of the bitches from you're talking about Black Christmas 2019. That's who she reminded me of. Was like one of the main girl from there. I'm like, just please kill her,
please. And imagine if they didn't, and you're like, oh fuck, I can't have anything in life.
This movie would have left me as unfulfilled as this movie. But then what is up with the Excalibur scene? Come on, help me pull the axe from the stone. The log. Like, they lingered on their hands like for a long time.
Yeah. I noticed. I was like, okay.
The director of photography is Helen Keller.
That is the longest shot I've ever seen of someone just panning down the axe handle. Just kept going. I'm like, okay, are they gonna pull it out or what? No, of course they didn't.
No, there was no payoff for that until we get to later in the movie. Spoiler alert, the only person strong enough to pull it out is the Mongoloid. Harry and the Hendersons had sex with a fucking retarded Wookiee, and it's the Madman Mars. That's
so good.
The only noises he made was like, murr. He sounded like a South Park thing. It was like, murr. I don't know. I'm like, what is he? What are you saying, Bobo? What is it? You know? Fuck. Not since Batwoman has something confused me and angered me so much. What else do we have? Oh, and then we have the drunk cook. Why is the camp cook always a fucking somebody who looks like he's on a list and can't go within 200 feet of a school?
I know, he's always a degenerate.
I noticed that. I was like, okay, so it's the cook in this movie. It's also the fucking cook in Sleepaway Camp, the first one. I'm like, okay, so the list's just gonna keep going.
Yep. Oh fuck.
Was it the same guy?
What's this? I don't think it's the same guy.
It's just the same archetype character. He fucking walks out with a fifth of Jack. He's just drinking the fucking yak like fuck these kids. Fuck these kids. I'm too old for this shit, Riggs. I'm too old for this shit. That was basically it. Like, and then he gets the ICP. It's like neck cutter. What? Neck cutter. And then he's dead. Just neck cutter. He's just done.
Did anyone catch the sound effect that the axe or whatever he cut his throat with made? It was just a weird sound effect. I was like, okay. It was like,
it was,
I don't even know how to describe it. I was like,
no. The sound, the After Effects in this, whatever they did with the audio mixing, because the VR, like the voiceover work where Richie is in the woods and he's like, you hear the leaves crunching and you hear like the wind, and all of a sudden it goes silent and you hear, oh man, oh, where am I? And I'm like, it sounds so canned. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, I caught that too.
Like, you can't tell me you couldn't have layered that audio. I was just like, I mix on Filmora. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's
how about the hot tub scene?
Oh my god!
I wrote quite a bit about the hot tub scene.
Oh man.
But what I did before, like after the cook got killed, I said, what's up with the noise he makes? That's great. Just that murr. I said he's constantly groaning a fat person getting out of a rascal at Walmart. Like he's like murr. Like what are those heifers trying to plow out of there murr, after they've run the Walmart 500 and bought 800 chicky nuggies. I like chicky nuggies too, but don't eat 800 of them because you can't see your feet. Richie, yeah, he sees Mars running through the woods. The hot tub scene. Okay. But before we get to the hot tub, T-Pain, Teddy Payne, baby, has to publicly apologizes to Forehead, and then everyone clapped. Because then we get to their hot tub and they play Ring Around the Fucking Road. What the fuck? Who wrote this fucking song? The love song during the sex scenes in the movie The Room was better than the fucking score for this. Holy shit. this was like, I was like, where was this like a mixtape back then? It would have been like a cassette or an 8-track somebody was handing out outside of like the 5 and dime. Here's my mixtape. I make romance tracks. Like, what the fuck is this? This is terrible.
The way that they were like rotating to around this.
They weren't even together. They were just like, I guess I'll copy you.
Yeah, it was like you and me shadow dancing. I'm like, what the fuck? What up, Grave Reviews? Hail, Grave Reviews. Yeah, that like I'm like, is this fucking that 70s show? They're in the hot tub hanging out down the street, you know, they're sitting in the fucking circle. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I've never wanted a romantic fucking like horror movie like sex scene to end more quickly than I do this. I'm like, you couldn't give me an extra 15 seconds of the nurse's tits in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, but I'm subjected to forehead playing Ring Around the Rosie in a syphilis-infested hot tub with T-Pain.
Oh my God, what was that?
He's not wrong though. It just kept going. I was like, I didn't remember it being like that, but like when it comes back to you, it's like, oh shit, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, there's even worse shit that happens though.
Oh, yeah, but wait, there's more. There is.
Hang on to your seat, baby. This one's a screamer.
And of course, you know, you got Madman Mars outside the window. You know, he's out there out in the bushes. You heard the he was out there going, you know, he's also a voyeur apparently. But you know, he found let's see, yeah, they were breaking the cardinal rule in horror. They were having sex, so it's like you know, somebody's got to go here. But I was really hoping Mars was going to kill Stacy at that point. And did you see that scene where all 4 of them are laying like opposite ways on the floor?
I was like, okay.
Another scene, I'm like, why is this in the movie? Who was like, I've got a great idea. Hey, kids, you know how you guys are always, all the teens are always laying on the floor, like with their heads opposite ways like that. You know, you kids are always doing that. And I think we're operating under the assumption that they were high here, which I don't know at this point why they wouldn't have just shown them smoking a joint, because God knows I was stoned when I was watching this, because there's no way I was making it through this sober. No, that was, I was sitting there going like, why is this in the movie and why are they lingering on this? Like, it makes no fucking, like, again, another shot. It's like you could have taken this runtime out of the complete runtime of the movie and nobody would have cared. Yeah, that's right. Like the monks in Minecraft. I hit them with my fucking netherite axe and they're like, like, well, get the fuck out of my village, asshole. This is mine. Build a wall.
Like also when he was like talking about like, I can, like, you never know what I'm thinking. I can just snap at any moment. And they're just like looking at him like he's telling like the greatest fucking story. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's like, he's really spitting right now.
You think this motherfucker's spitting?
Spitting bullshit is what he's doing.
I was sitting back and like, so none of this guy's friends knew he was a psycho. Like, really, like none of them knew this guy's like, this dude's like like Michael Douglas and fucking Falling Down. Like, he's one traffic jam away from like getting a rocket launcher and attacking some Mexican gang members with a baseball bat. But no, not Dave. I was just kidding. How'd you going, didn't I, guys?
I'm pretty sure they cheered after that.
Yeah, they did too. Like, they clapped. I'm like, don't encourage him. I wish he would have stabbed.
Oh, you want me to do it again? You want me to say the same thing again? I'll do it.
Okay. Got the knife. I'll do it. Oh my God. And that's what I said. I said Dave's weird monologue was something to behold. But what did I say? I said it led to a tickle fight. So I mean, there was that little thing they had. They were like, fucking die, all of you. Yeah, Richie is basically lost in the woods the entire, like, for the entire movie. 90% of the movie, Richie's just lost in the fucking woods, just like, look, guys, I wonder where I am. Whoa, bad voiceover. And he goes to the house like they're talking about, hey, don't go to the house. He's like, I'll go to the house.
Okay, I mean, someone's got to make the dumb fucking decision in the horror movie, and obviously it had to be fucking Richie.
Richie, you know, of all the Richies that could have been in this movie, I wish it was this one that got on the plane with the fucking Big Bopper and not Richie Valens. You've got to be of a certain age to get that reference or really know your music. Or be a La Bamba, or be a La Bamba fan like I am. Okay, all right, no more. Dun, 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 dun. That's a great fucking movie. La Bamba. Lou Diamond Phillips is the fucking man, and I can correlate this to horror because he was in the first Power, which is absolutely. It's like 87 or 88. It's like a supernatural like kind of thriller, and he plays a cop. It's a great fucking movie. Yeah, I think it's 87 or 88. We'll look it up in a minute. But what else do we have? So Richie's lost the woods. Then T-Pain goes to look for Richie, and Forehead. What did Forehead? Forehead was getting ready to go to bed, but yeah, she sees Madman Mars when TP leaves to go look for Richie, and she's like, TP, and he's like, what? And she's like, nothing. I hope you fucking get hung by a tree, you douchebag. And
I didn't just see him with the axe in the shadows.
No.
This is my imagination. Too much Forehead.
It'll be fine. She's like, I got a lot going on in this big ass forehead right now, and I can't quite articulate what I'm trying to tell you, TP. So just go into the woods and don't mind that man with the axe. What? Nothing. Oh, 1990. Thank you. That's a great fucking movie. But yeah. So from here, everybody dies basically. In horrible shots. Bad effects, the axe to the chest, Stacy getting decapitated with the hood of the truck.
Yeah,
I cheered. I cheered. I fucking cheered.
I think the effect was okay, but like
that was all right.
The noise that like there was no impact. He just went and no head. I'm like, okay, no sound effect.
It wasn't. Yeah, for something like that, that's kind of a big kill, and I'm somebody who really has a thing for decapitations. I'm FBI. Look, I'm talking about special effects horror movies, not real decapitations. You know, don't let the beard fool you. But no, that one that didn't have much oomph behind it. You had the axe to the chest of the curly-haired chick, dollar store Adrienne Barbeau. What happened? Homeboy, Bill, it was with the mustache. The To Catch a Predator mustache, he just got pulled right out of the fucking truck. Like,
yeah, I like it was the truck's supposed to be moving. The truck is supposed to be moving, by the way, but it's obviously not moving if he can just take him out like the monster is just standing still. I was like, so is he just fucking floating with the truck? Like, did no one catch that?
I like the gorilla press slam. Yeah, that was great. I'm like. He's like Hogan and Andre. He's like, that ain't gonna work for me, brother. Throws him. I don't know. It was okay. So the shotgun. Okay, when Forehead gets the shotgun, she's the one she just shoots for no fucking reason. I'm like, what? You just okay? Shoots the second one.
I guess.
Yeah. Test fire. Bang. Okay, we're good.
It's like clicking the tongs before you grill.
Yeah.
Or the drill before you start to drill something. Like,
yep.
You have to do that.
I'm guilty of that one. I am so guilty of that.
Absolutely. You kidding me?
It's like you're a guy. You just don't hear that thing. You know, it is. It's just you hear that, just that noise, you know. But yeah, I love when they all get on the bus. We're just gonna jump because this is So they jump, they're on the bus and she sees him run in front. So she fucking stops. Just stops. I'm like, what? He's gonna kill you, and yet you stop instead of in the large 2-ton vehicle you're in, just
with kids.
Stop. With kids, you stop. And then, oh no, he's got his hand in the door. Brr, like, and then he's out there. Brr, brr. How many times did she hit him in the hand? Like,
she was hitting after he left. She's still hitting. I'm like, you can stop now.
Right.
But going back to the shotgun scene, that scene when she was like going towards the cabin and she saw through the window like her friend's foot, and then her friend did like the jump scare to the window.
Yes.
Blew her away, and then the next shot, I'm not kidding. Oh, yes. Hey.
That was the one round, just boom. I'm like, well, fuck it, she's out.
But blew her friend's head off, basically. And then the next scene, like 2 seconds later, a kid comes out of the cabin. Oh, hey. Like, she didn't just kill her friend, like, indefinitely. Just, okay, yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Like, I just shot my friend right in the fucking face with a side-by-side. It's all right. It's all good. We're fine. We're all fine. It was a weapons malfunction. How are you? We're going to detach a squadron to come down there and see what's going on. TK-425 over. Poor head's like, yeah, get on the bus, kids. Get on the bus. Yeah, he slashes her fucking face.
Yeah,
like,
he slashes it, and then it just becomes like a big ass gaping cut. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Movie magic.
Drags her down to the basement. I mean, this was. I know we're jumping all over the place here because I stopped taking notes. I was like, I'm done. Plus, it was hard.
There was literally nothing like that was special that happened. That one scene where Richie got to the house and was down in the basement, and he was looking for something in the basement, and then he saw something, and it just like, oh my god! And then it just cut away. I was like, so what did he see? But obviously, in the end, we found out it was the bodies because that's what typical horror movies do. I did notice the way that the Betsy or Forehead basically when she got her got, like it was like I was like, is that a reference to the Texas Chainsaw, like the hook? Because like I thought but then the way that like she was like, this ends now. Ow! And he knocks over no Forehead.
How could you?
I'll be back.
No, there's not going to be a sequel. We didn't have enough cocaine money for a sequel.
Thank God, because they probably could have done even worse. Actually, I don't know. That's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, you get the Richie on the road at the end. He's just like,
he got out scot-free.
The dude, what's his name? Mustache guy there. Matt,
looks like William H. Macy. It looks like William H. Macy from Shameless. I was like, okay, especially in Shameless. But yeah,
he comes back at the end.
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Exactly.
He's been out playing cards and gallivanting all night, drinking, taking part in chicanery. I hope he's like, save me a beer. You're all dead. They're all mine now. You dead fucks. He's like, I don't care. And then we're treated to what is probably the best musical number. Yep. That'll be the last time we ever see that. God, that I was waiting like, okay, so he's like, where the legend beware Madman Mars. Like if he would have done like a beat drop after that, I was all for it, man. I'm like, let's go. And then nothing. I'm like,
oh, great. Okay.
I'm like, you had all that, but you had the crescendo right there. Could have dropped the beat on that. I think, no, nothing. No, I was like, there's all that build up for no fucking delivery.
Me something.
Something, anything. This was no bueno. I don't recommend this movie to anyone, anytime, ever, under any circumstances, unless you're really, really, really bored and don't have paint to watch dry or needles to stick in the end of your dick or I mean, yes, yeah.
So he's comparing this movie to sticking a needle in your dick. Just so you know. Please don't do that again.
Yeah, this was about the same fucking vibe I got from the Black Christmas 2019. Was like, oh my God, I've just abused myself. Oh God, I've abused myself about the brain repeatedly. This was worse than getting hit with a steel chair.
Coming behind with a steel chair. But the steel chair, if that's this movie, it's made of fucking cardboard. It's not effective.
No, literally the only thing scary was having to like sit through the whole thing. Like that was it was at least it got some laughs, I'll tell you that. Like it was fun to review with you guys because we
I watched it twice. I watched it last night after I emailed him at like 4 a.m. because adult brains make you wake up that late. I was like, fuck it, let me watch this again. And then I watched it again like this afternoon. I'm like, to see if I like missed anything. And I'm like, okay, well, I got my opinion on this. So that would be my third time watching Madman.
Oh man. Torture.
Yeah.
I've put myself through worse. I gotta say that.
I will say I would if I had to choose between watching this or any of the Hostel movies, I would watch this again. I couldn't do the Hostel, the torture porn stuff for me. I was just like, it's not my bag. It just isn't. It isn't.
Yeah, I made a video all about torture porn, and I talked about how Hostel is that's just too much for me. I'll accept the remakes of certain horror movies because they're kind of considered torture porn, but I do not fuck with Hostel. Look, and I like Eli Roth. I like a lot of his movies, but I do not like Hostel.
I've never seen them, and that's
good.
That's why.
Leave it.
Yeah, don't. It's and there's movies, we say, haha, don't watch this. No. If you're not into that kind of genre, that subgenre, don't. Because I watched the first one in the theater because I'm like, Eli Roth, all right. And I'm sitting there in the theater going like, look away. Wow. Like I don't do that in movies. There was parts I was just like, and then of course the second one I rented it on Blu-ray. And which was like the girls were in the second one, I think it was. And I'm like, I was like, somehow they managed to make this worse. And it wasn't the fact that it was girls in it. It was the fact that they just upped the ante with some of the violence. And it was just like, I don't remember finishing it. I don't think I did, honestly. It was fucking god awful. I don't do those kind of movies. Like I used to like the Saw movies. I went to see the first like 4 because I was kind of hooked into the story of Jigsaw at that point. I was like, man, the first one is a fucking masterpiece. Like it really is.
I love the first one. You kidding me?
I love that whole franchise.
I did. I went to see the first 5 on opening night in the theater. That was like me and my ex's thing. We would go see the Saw movies together, because they'd open around Halloween, and that's just go get high and watch the Saw, And I was like, man, I know they're bordering on that torture porn kind of thing, but there's more of a story to it in this than there is with Hostel. Hostel, it's just like these weirdos pay to torture people. That's the story right there, basically. That's it.
And also, like every Saw movie having like that ending where you're always just wondering, like, what the fuck is the twist coming? And then when the music kicks in, you get just chills and like, who is it? Who did it? Absolutely.
So how do the Hostel movies? Are they as bad? Like, did you guys see Terrifier or Terrifier 2?
Oh, I've seen both of them. I've even met the guy who played Terrifier or the Clown, David Howard Thornton. I love the Terrifier movies. Just carnage candy. Just I don't know what it is. I think it's just also the fact that Art is just one creepy son of a bitch.
Yeah,
he's silent, and another silent killer added to the category is always a plus in my book. Because there's Michael and then there's Jason. And now we got Art.
Yeah. That is, I do like that about art as well. I didn't like. I felt like it was a little too body horror.
Well, especially those scenes that like everyone talks about. Etep, did you see those movies yet?
I haven't seen any of the Terrifier movies, and they are on my list because I've heard they're pretty fucking wicked. And I watched you talk about some of them, and I'm like, I think I need to check these out.
Yeah, like I like Terrifier so much, I would gladly pay multiple amounts of money every single time if David Howard Thornton or Damien Leone came to a horror convention near me. I'm paying for a fucking picture because I don't know what it is. If the first one, it's not like anything too new outside of Art the Clown as a character. Outside of his character in the kills, it's pretty bad. And then the second one, it just cranks it up to 10, especially with the scenes that that Trina is probably talking about, which is the splits, and then we'll just call it the bedroom scene.
Yeah, I've only heard those terms. I've never seen it.
Oh, woo!
Candy carnage.
Candy carnage, nice.
Yeah, the cast of the Terrifier series, they're all over the horror conventions I've been to in the last couple of years. I've never got any photos with him because I've never seen any, like I said, I've never seen any of the movies, but man, these are like very ultra violent, and like you said, he's a silent killer, which that's my bag. I like that. I don't need my killers going murr.
Yeah.
I don't need Jason Voorhees screaming when his mask gets knocked off. As much as I love Jason Takes Manhattan because I saw it in the theater at 9 years old, Jason Takes Vancouver. But yeah,
basically.
No, I watched your video you did with the mask, the Art the Clown mask, and that thing looks fucking gnarly. He's just like, yeah,
there he is.
Yeah, that is a like. When did the first one come out? When was the first one? It's how long ago? Was it, couple years?
I think it was like 2019. I think, okay. Or 2020s, something like that. Because very soon after the first one came out, like because everyone saw how chaotic the first one was, they're like, "Oh, we want more." And like very soon after the first one came out, we got more. Like we got I think Terrifier 2 is like 2 hours and 17 minutes, by the way. It's a long slasher, but
Yikes.
like I've never been bored by it. I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah, because we always talk about that as far as horror movies go with run times. And like I said, I always said the sweet spot for a slasher for me is like 80 to 90 minutes. You get in, you do your job, and, you get your shit over and you go home. And that's, but I mean, if a movie's good and it, like you said, you've watched it a couple times and you've never been bored watching it, that's a sign it's got rewatchability and it's a good movie then,
Absolutely.
That's something I'm sure. Where's it streaming? Is it Shudder? Is it on Shudder? Or is it like Netflix or Hulu or something?
It's not on Netflix. I know that for a fact because I just finished watching like all the Nightmares that are on Netflix. Okay. I think the Terrifier movies are probably like on Peacock or something like that. Probably something that has an ad while you watch the movie. It's probably going to be on there.
Oh, yep, Peacock. All right, sweet. I've got that. It's on Prime Video. I've got that one. All right, cool. So I can watch them. All right, excellent. I wanted to make sure because it's like I got Shudder last year just so Trina and I could review the Hell House movies, which nice. I fucking love those. Have you watched those?
I have, but it's like so what it's like a ritual for me is like every day I try to watch a new horror movie or something that I haven't seen. Right. So for the past few watches, it's been things like you mentioned in a live stream, you mentioned in one of the streams a movie you wanted to check out called The Children. Like I watched that one where the kids burn their parents. I watched that one. I watched The Stuff, if you remember that one.
I've heard of it. I remember hearing that. I don't think I've ever
It's
seen it though.
killer ice cream, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I've seen the trailer for that.
Yeah. Squirm. You know, I don't know what it is, but like there's like that sweet spot like for those B movies that are just like so bad. That's like, I love that. But Madman is not on that list. Oh
No.
yeah, Shocker is like
Dude.
fucking awesome.
Wes Craven makes another Freddy Krueger-esque character, and Mitch Pileggi as Horace Pinker in that movie was fucking amazing. I saw that when it hit like HBO, and yeah, I have a VHS. I don't have like a store, but I recorded it. I've got like hundreds of VHS tapes I recorded in the 80s and 90s, and that's one of them. And I love that Shocker, that freaking 80s freaking metal song from that. But that's so hard to believe that's a Wes Craven movie, but on the other hand, it's not. I love that movie. That was so much fun. You know what? We should do that one for next week, Trina. We should.
All right, let's do it.
I recommend that one too.
We should do Shocker for next week. I haven't watched it in it's been a couple years since I've seen it, so we'll rewatch that. We'll review that one next Tuesday night. That'll be a good one. Because that is phenomenal. It really is. I don't think that movie gets near enough love. I watched this movie 7 years ago, maybe. Rubber. That's the telekinetic tire that kills people. Yep. That was another one.
That was a interesting one, to say the least.
See you, Grave Reviews. Have a great night. Have a great night, guys.
Later, Grave.
Zombievers was much in that vein too. That was another one. Zombievers was too. Zombie Beavers. Yeah. And those are fun, but like you can't get mad at those movies because it's like they know what they are and they're fucking hilarious because it's like they're just self-aware and they play into it, which to me is like that's the hallmark of a good schlock horror movie. It's like you know what you are, now show us what you can do with it, and make it fun. That's the problem is like Madman. I know it's made in 1981, but like it still could have like leaned like look at April Fool's Day. Like that is another 80s movie and that leaned in, it's all a joke, it's a fun movie. I heard you bring up Sleepaway Camp earlier. Oof.
That's such a great movie.
That movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah, so what I like about like all the older movies as well is my girlfriend, she is a horror fan, but she went pretty much most of her life without watching a lot of the classics. She watched the more modern ones. So I showed her Sleepaway Camp, and that's now one of her favorites. And then I showed her the Texas Chainsaw series. And what's so funny about this is her favorite out of the franchise is The Next Generation. I'm not kidding.
With McConaughey and Dennis Hopper, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, dude. What's the Renee? Is it Renee's? Not
Renee Zellweger? Yeah,
Renee Zellweger. Yeah, dude. That one was insane. That movie is literal insanity. Like,
yeah,
Matthew McConaughey playing in that movie, like, and he's like proud of that movie too. Like, he doesn't try to hide it either.
I know So I think originally he like his like manager or whoever he was working with told him like, don't put this out. Your career is going to go down. And then I think they shelved it for a couple of years, and then they finally released it after McConaughey had some steam with his name, and then to this day it's like something like you mentioned that he is proud of, and because it is over the top for McConaughey.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, it is. That movie was very well. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the original, is very claustrophobic. Like it's a very claustrophobic type movie. I've watched it a plethora of times. But it's not like it's always like to watch it for like a review or something. We're going to talk about it somewhere. It's not honestly like I don't dislike it, but it's not one of those movies where I'm like, I got to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You never get off a shift and go, man, I need to watch the original Chainsaw. Like, come on.
Yeah. you know, I watch Jessica Biel now because
Oh,
not only that, but you also have Arlie Ermy in that, who
oh, rest in peace.
absolutely, yeah, steals the fucking show. He terrified me as a kid because my dad made me watch Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. 'Cause my father's a Marine, a Vietnam veteran. So he was like, this is the most realistic depiction of Marine Corps boot camp you will ever see on film. And we watched that movie, and yeah, he's like, that shit. Like, I remember when I was getting out of high school, he wanted me to go in the Army. I was like, you don't want me to go in the Marines? He's like, fuck no, you're not Marine material. You need to go in the Army, son. I did not go in the Army. I did not go in the Marines. I went to college.
I have a brother who went into the Marines, and then I saw how much of a toll it took on him, and then how much he said like that movie was like not far off from like how they are. And then my other brother went to go join the Marines. He got to boot camp, but unfortunately he had a mental break, and it broke him for months.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I could never imagine that it's that brutal. So, I mean, all the props to you said he was your father, who was
yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Respect.
dude. And that was back then when like you've seen that movie then with like the blanket party where they put the soap in the blankets and
Yes.
He's like, yeah, he goes, we did that shit to people that like fucked up. He goes, that just happened. Like, you know, you did it, and the fucker didn't talk about it, because if they talked about it, they're gonna get beat worse, you know. But yeah, that's Arlie Ermy, and that scared the shit out of me. And Vincent D'Onofrio, who would go on to be in what is actually, I think, a kind of an underrated horror movie, The Cell, with him and Jennifer Lopez. That guy has a lot of range when it comes to acting. You know, that, so I really see, you know, because he looked pure evil when he shot Arlie Ermey's character, and then he, you know,
hi, Joker.
Yeah, he suck started his rifle. But yeah, that was a gnarly fucking scene. So it led to him, you know, now he's fucking Kingpin, which I'm not going to get into that. I'm not even talking about that. But no, I saw it. What did Davian mention? House 3. I don't remember House 3, but I love House 1 and 2. And
I like House 2 a lot.
House 2 is fun. That one is a fun movie. That's like the cowboy western. Like, they have the grandpa in that. That one. And that one is fun. The first one scared me a little bit as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. It was just kind of creepy. Just the creature effects and things like that. William Catt and George Wendt were at Horror Hound Cincinnati this year. I didn't get autographs from either of them, but George Wendt, like I told Trina this, it made me sad because he looks horrible. Like, he's all yellow. It looks like jaundice, and he's riding a cart now. He can barely hear. And he was like I said, I saw him on The Masked Singer not long ago, and he wasn't getting around too well on there either. So it's like, you know, it's kind of sad. But yeah, he was great in House as the next door neighbor. William Catt, the greatest American hero.
Yeah, the same could be said also for Tim Curry. I want to meet him so bad, but at the same time, I just don't want to bother. He just looks like he just wants to rest, man. Like, just, it's so sad. But like, he's doing a virtual event at the next convention I'm going to, which I am excited about that. But I hope it doesn't take too much of a toll on him.
Oh wow, yeah, he looks bad. I didn't realize he was.
You didn't realize that?
I haven't seen him in God knows how long. I didn't know how bad that's kind of like what George Wendt looks like. He's 77. He's a year older than my dad. He's born in, holy shit, I have the same birthday as Tim Curry. His birthday is April 19th. I did not realize that.
Shit.
Huh. That's kind of awesome.
That is pretty cool.
That's I'll take that, because there was some, like, I was looking at like the celebrities I shared birthdays with, and I was like, oh, it was bad. But What I wanna ask you what you've got coming up on your channel. What's Tyler got coming up on his channel?
Well, I currently am still working the kinks out for the videos that are coming. The thing I'm working on the most at the moment is the Jason behind me, because that seems to be the thing that everyone was really interested in, and it was awesome because it's one of my biggest passions. I can't tell you how many hours I spent just like looking at the jacket on Google and just like looking at all the stitches and all the mud stains. I'm like, okay, so I got to do this. I got to get this type of jacket. I got to get these type of pants. I got to get these type of boots, because I like to really try to bring it as close home as I can, because I've been like doing costume making and prop making, I think literally since I was like 5, because because of horror movies. Like, I would drive my dad insane and say, "Hey, can I borrow the duct tape and the aluminum foil?" And the amount of duct tape and aluminum foil that I went through as a kid is barbaric. Yeah. And then for other videos, it's just trying to figure out what's different to do, because my channel is mainly horror, but I do want to add some more things just to give it some variety, just like you do with your streams. Monday you talk about wrestling and pop culture stuff, and then you also do horror. And on the other side of me being a horror fan, I am a huge metalhead, and I'm also just, it's a passion. Anything music that's like heavy is in my heart.
Oh, dude, we should get you on with one of my co-hosts from Monday night, CJP. He produced the theme for tonight's show, the title track during the intro sequence, and he's redone the GoldenEye soundtrack. He's a great musician, and he's into rock and dude. Yeah, I could get you in touch with him. He'd probably love to bring you on one of his Thursday night streams to talk about music, bro. Like,
that would be sick.
That's like we've got our little corner of the platform here. There's a myriad, a veritable cornucopia of different types of creators over here. So yeah, man, there's something for everybody. The wrestling thing for me, dude, that's just it's just going to what I know. Like, I went to my first show in 7 years since I retired. Saturday night with one of my buddies, came up from Indiana, went to the guy whose show I went to, he's like, "When do you want to come in and work?" I'm like right now, but I can't. But no, it's just like, so it's, you talk about the stuff that you're really passionate about, and it really just shines through, man. It's like Trina does the same thing, except she says, "Hey, let's watch Madman." I'm just kidding, Trina.
Was that her suggestion?
That was, oh man, yeah. So I was looking for a movie for us to review, and I came upon that one, and because I was looking in 80s horror movies and stuff, and I was like, well, I haven't seen this one. And I'm looking at the synopsis of it, and I'm like, all right, this sounds all right. So that's how this came to be. And oh man, this was a fail.
It's okay.
There's always going to be a fail, and then eventually there will be a fucking gold mine of a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's trust me, it's okay. I suggested for my birthday a couple of years ago, we watched Monkey Shines, which I had fond memories of that movie as a kid. There's Trina's link right there for real horror. I had fond memories of Monkey Shines. I'm like, yeah, let's watch this. And we watched it. And I'm like, nothing happened until like the last 10 minutes of the movie. Like, oh my God, this movie was bad. Like, it was so much worse than I remember. But then there was Blood Salvage, which I reviewed the other day with Loudy. And it's not a good movie. It knows it's not going to be a good movie. It leans in on the dark comedy, and that's where it succeeds. Like, those movies like that, you can't take yourself too seriously if you don't have the capability. Don't do it, because it's going to come out like shit, and there's going to be people like me who are tearing it apart 43 years later. I'm looking at you, Madman. But No, this like that's why I really like Blood Salvage. Like I said, I've seen that movie like 15 times since it came out in 1990. I love that movie. Unapologetically, and it's not good, but I still want to know how the fuck they got John Saxon to be in that. Like, I'm like, how? And Evander Holyfield was in it, and I was like, that's where their budget went to get Evander Holyfield in it for 5 minutes, like, because he was still like really big in the world of professional boxing at the time, like probably one of the top rated heavyweights in the world, and it's like he's in this offbeat ass movie, which they filmed in Georgia, which is I believe where he was from, which is probably how they fucking roped him into being in the movie. Hey, can we get you and Lou Duva in here? It's like, that's a weird fucking cameo, but he still had both his ears. Tyson hadn't bit his ear off yet at this point, so we were good there. He could at least hear when the director yelled "cut." God, that's
Blood Salvage. That's what that is.
It's on YouTube too. You can watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. See if I come around to that one.
And there's the line, the one guy, Hiram, one of the sons, the redneck sons, he is played by Christian Hessler, who died of AIDS before the movie came out, before it was even like months before it was released.
Oh,
he died of AIDS. He makes the movie like even funnier because of the way he delivers his playing this over the top hillbilly character. Like they called the dad Dee. Dee says dinner's ready. I'm like, he called him Diddy. But it's like Dee says dinner's ready, and then it's and his yell when anything happens to him, he gets hurt. He goes, this little. I can't do it because I can't get that high pitch, but it's so fucking funny. I love that movie. Now that I've ranted about Blood Salvage again, if you haven't seen my review, you can go check that out, folks. It's in the horror reviews playlist. But I just the new stuff coming out now. Some of it like it'll strike. I still haven't seen Megan. I need to watch that, and I need to watch Pearl and X. I need to check those out because I've heard those are really good. I've heard those are good. I'm leery about new horror. I'm very leery.
Absolutely. So I've seen X. I haven't seen Pearl yet. So I still need to see Pearl, and because they're coming out very soon with Maxine, and I liked X quite a bit, so I don't know why I haven't gotten around to watching Pearl yet. But for as far as new horror coming out, I'm actually pretty excited to check out Abigail. If you've seen the trailer for that, that looks pretty interesting. The one with the vampire girl, because it's been a long time since we've had a good vampire film. At least in my opinion. As far as like being serious.
What was that last Village of the Demeter or whatever? That kind of shit the bed.
Oh, the last voyage of the Demeter. Yeah. Dracula on the boat or something. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Wasn't that whole thing like based on one scene from what was the fuck? Was it the Dracula movie that came out back in the day in the 90s? I'm trying to think. Because wasn't that wasn't that a derivative of something, Trina? I'm trying to think.
I think it was from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That's what it was. It kind of spun out of that kind of mythos. And I just heard it. Like Draven even saw it, and I don't think he thought it was good. Which, if Draven doesn't think it's good, then there's something definitely wrong with it because he can consume a lot of crap. And I mean, God, he still watches AEW. I mean, I love you, Draven. I love you. But he'll be at my house like by 4 a.m. on Saturday. I was like, "What time are you getting in?" He'll be like, "Oh, 4 a.m." I'm like, so it's either going to be I'm going to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and prepare for your arrival, or I'm going to get drunk and stream video games all night Friday, which might happen too, folks. So stay tuned for that.
Is that no? That's Resident Evil 5. Is you mentioned you might do that tomorrow?
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna play Resident Evil 5 tomorrow. I think. I got some things to do, but I'm thinking about maybe doing that in the early evening tomorrow around like 6 o'clock or so for a couple hours with Vinny. And I know a couple of people will be hanging out backstage and providing commentary as we play. The last time was a blast. I'd played a Resident Evil game since the first one in 95 or 96. Yeah, it had been that long since I played.
So you jumped from the first one and then you just went straight to 5 because that was just recommended, I guess. Or well, I think it's like one of the few that has like 2-player.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
can only
what it
imagine
was.
how many people has told you play 4.
I don't know much about 4. But I downloaded 5 and 6. They were on sale in the Nintendo eShop because I have a Switch for like $10 each. So I was like, oh shit, like that's better than because I bought, because Draven and I were gonna play it together. I bought the AEW game when it came out because I heard it was gonna be like No Mercy for N64, which I still play on my N64, which is right here. And I bought it, and the game, like I never even played it. Everybody that I knew that bought it was like, the game's garbage, it's broken. I'm like, I'm glad I spent $90 on this. That's awesome. So I punched myself in the dick about 4 times and was like, all right, we're even.
I've done it before games too. Just like, shit. Well, there's no takebacks. There's no refunds.
Yeah. He's fuck you, Draven.
He is bad at new
the newest system I had before Santa Claus got Trey his Switch, in case he's awake. It's about that time for him to come down the stairs and start chopping me like Ric Flair. But I had a PlayStation 2 was the newest system I had before I started playing the Switch. Like that was like, I played like PS4 and shit like that, but I'd never bought one because I retro game. I play a Sega Genesis. I got the NES Classic. I got all the old school games and shit. That's basically, I play Madden and GTA on my PS2. That was basically all I have time for. And then it's like, okay, so we start playing Mario Kart together. Trina gets on there and plays kart with us, which is fun. I love playing that. And then it was like, we tried Fortnite, which I'm fucking horrible at. Draven will attest to. He's all he does is fun. He's driving here, goes, get in the fucking car so you don't get lost again. Like I'm the one, we jump out of the fucking ship at the drop ship at the beginning. I'm the one getting lost. Hang on, guys, I'll be there in 10 minutes. That's me. That's me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started with all the like the older systems as well, like Sega, Atari, GameCube, and now I have PlayStation 2 because it is possibly my favorite system I've ever had. And I have like easily like 150 of my childhood video games. But if I'm not playing that, if I have the time, because I make this like excuse every time I make a video, and it's been a while. It's like as an adult, you'll just see time just gets away from you. But like if I ever have the time, it's like I'll play my PS4 for a couple of hours. But I really wish I had more time to do what I want as an adult. But then again, I'm an adult and also a father. So yeah.
Same, dude. I've got an 8.5-year-old. So, and I teach at his school, and I have so many other irons. Like I used to put out 15 videos a week at one point, and
God,
and now it's like, yeah, I hate you so much, Draven. I do love you though, you fucking prick. But no, I don't. It's like I want to like make videos, and it's like I've been working on this Friday the 13th part 4 40th anniversary video, and it's like I need more time to fucking work on it. And it's like I have so much shit to do the rest of the week. Like I haven't done the Tales from the Crypt commentary on Thursdays in like a month. It has been a month, and I apologize, channel members, for that. I'll get you guys a video this week, and I'm gonna Thursday. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do them unless it's early or later, like in the later afternoon on Thursday. We might be able, because those are fun. They're all on YouTube, and we sit back, and there's like 3-4 of us watch 2 episodes. It takes like an hour and 2 minutes total. That's the entire stream. Watch a couple of them, and we usually marvel at the directors that they pull and some of the guest stars for those episodes.
I mean, there's insane guest stars. Arnold was on. It was. There's like so many, because I have like the whole series myself, and I've watched it all. It's been a long time, but like I've watched all of it like front to back. But like there was Arnold, there was oh my God, there's
Katie Seagal from Married with Children. Yep, Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
Yep. And you have Donner, Zemeckis, Joel Silver involved as executive producers. Yeah, the first couple episodes, I was looking at the directors going like, holy shit, like this is fucking awesome. Because I hadn't seen these since I was because it aired. I watched it live as a kid in the 80s or the 90s. And I mean, I remember when they started airing in syndication before the X-Files and stuff like that. I'm like, man, Enoch, the Two-Faced Man, was one of my favorites. The one with Don Rickles, where his hand is Morty, his brother. You know, the puppet one. The one with Bobcat Goldthwait. He did the marionette one. That was the one with him and Don Rickles, the ventriloquist. But yeah, they were great. Those pulp type stories. It's much the same vein as like the Creep Show movies, where I love those movies as a kid.
Which I believe Forehead from Madman was in Creep Show. I think I did find. Yeah, I think she was in Creep Show, and I know she was also in the original Dawn of the Dead.
I saw that on IMDb that she was in. That was the only thing I remember about anybody from that cast was she was in Dawn of the Dead, and because I googled it and I looked it up. So, Jesus, that's funny.
Well, she had to start somewhere. I don't even know. I don't even know if that was her first starting movie. It better not have been.
I don't know how she got work after that. If that was her first, I mean, Jesus,
exactly.
It's not like she turned in, a performance that salvaged what was otherwise a not a great film.
Exactly. So growing up, did you get to catch any of the other horror like TV shows? Like for me, growing up, it was obviously Tales from the Crypt. It was the Friday the 13th series, even though it had nothing to do with the films. It was Freddy's Nightmares. I used to love watching Freddy's Nightmares. It was just so kooky. It's just, it's all over the place.
And you got Freddy was involved. He was like your narrator, and he sometimes was involved in the stories, which was really cool. I watched Friday the 13th, the series, on Saturday afternoon on like WGN from Chicago. I would watch that. With like Glow Wrestling, and then the War of the Worlds TV series from the 80s too. That is another one that is time forgot that show, but I dug that. Alien Nation is another one. The movie, they did a movie first, then they did a TV show. James Caan was in the movie.
I didn't know that was a TV show for that.
Yep, they did a series for that, but I like Tales from the Dark Side. Obviously, if you can't tell from the intro, I kind of borrowed that because that scared the fuck out of me as a child watching that on Saturday nights in my room with the lights off. That scared me, and I love that show to death. That's one I want to buy. I need to own that because it's only, I think you can only catch a lot of those episodes on YouTube right now. And I think they only did a DVD. I don't think they've done a Blu-ray release of that one, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look it up, but
I'm not sure about that one.
Tales from the Dark Side was good. The Outer Limits too. That was another one.
It is on DVD. You can get it on Amazon. I don't think it's on Blu-ray though, just DVD, which to me that's fine because it's an old series.
Same.
And Outer Limits, that was one of my favorites. And Twilight Zone.
Oh, the original the black and white with Rod Serling.
Yes.
Yes. That show, that was like New Year's Day with like my dad, because they always did marathons on Sci-Fi back when it was the actual Sci-Fi channel, and that
when Sci-Fi was tolerable.
Yep. When it wasn't comprised completely of asylum movies.
Exactly.
But yeah, we used to watch because they do a marathon of that. So we would just watch that on New Year's Day together, the old Twilight Zone episodes. But yeah, the black and white just, I don't know, it just made it feel more special. If that makes sense, like it does. It just got a certain, it adds to it. It's like they say, I can't remember who was analyzing it, but they were talking about Friday the 13th part 6. And they're like, if you take the beginning of that movie and just throw a black and white filter over it, it makes it fucking terrifying. And they did it in a couple scenes, and it looks fucking awesome. It looks like an old Universal monster movie.
Yeah,
it looks
just,
great.
Because I can picture it in my head. I'm like, oh shit. Well, that's like right there in the same realm of Frankenstein, because
Yep.
Jason's a big dude, especially when CJ played him.
Oh yeah, CJ Graham was, and I got to meet Kane Hodder, and super cool guy, and
Yeah,
but yeah,
I got to meet him too. Were you taller than him as well?
Yes. How
Yeah.
tall are you? How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", but he was sitting out. Like, I just knew I had more stature than Kane Hodder, and I was like, oh shit, like that's insane. And I remember asking him, I was like, can you choke me? Because he does that for the photos. Yeah.
It was like I'm 6'3", and it's like
Damn.
I was a little bit taller. I was a little bit taller than him.
Jealous.
I wish I was still in like wrestling shape, because I would have been like way bigger than him at this point, because I used to be 245 when I was wrestling. And yeah, I'm about 30 pounds lighter than that now. But yeah, I was taller than that's what somebody pointed out, because I posted pictures like me, my wife, and my kid. We all had our Friday 13th gear, because my son loves those movies. And
awesome. Raising it right.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's absolutely, man. Like he was Freddy for Halloween this past year. And the thing was, he got to wear, I have an old costume Freddy Krueger glove I got when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So he got to use that.
That's like vintage. You're like, I trust you to wear this.
Yep. And that was it. I'm like, please don't break this, buddy. And he's been playing with it since he was a kid. And he had the Freddy sweater with the ripped open stomach and the faces popping out of the stomach and everything. It was fucking great. He could not wear that costume to school for costume day. That was the Catholic school did not abide by that. That was not going to fly. I remember the first time I sent him to school in the Friday the 13th t-shirt. It just says I Heart Friday, and the heart is a hockey mask. And the principal,
I have a shirt just like that.
Yeah, me and him got matching ones, and he wore it to school. And the principal's like, "Is that school appropriate?" And my son is like, "Yeah, he's the hero of a movie. It's called The Lifeguard." I'm like,
"Oh my god!" He just came up with that.
He was right off. He was like, quick. It was like
right off the top.
I swear.
I picked him up from school, and he's like, "Dad, I kind of feel bad." I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, I'm not going to say her name, but the principal kind of said something about my shirt." I'm like, "Oh, what did she say?" She asked me if I thought it was appropriate. I lied to her. I'm like, "You know what, buddy?" I'm like, "It's a victimless crime, dude." I'm like, "I ain't even gonna get mad at you for that." I'm like, you're thinking quick on your feet. Meanwhile, I walk in to teach gym in my Night of the Creeps hoodie with Tom Atkins on the back with a 12-gauge shotgun, and the 2 teenagers with their flamethrowers and the slugs down one sleeve, and the other sleeve says "Thrill Me" all the way down it, like that. And they don't say, I'm in there in a tank top teaching gym. You got my bloody hockey mask on my shoulder and shit.
Yeah,
like the kids love it. The kids love it. I can't wait to get my pinhead piece done over here. Yeah, I have the hell priest on my arm. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited to get that done. I've wanted to for a while. It's just like I'm waiting because the wife wants to get hers done first. I'm like, okay, you get yours done, then I'll get mine. I'm like, are you gonna get that done yet? Are we gonna go get your tattoo done yet? Because I want mine.
Yeah. God, man, I can't tell you how many like horror tattoos. I'm like, I come with the design, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this like on my leg. I'm gonna get this on my arm, and then like time keeps passing. I'm like, eventually I'll get there. Eventually I'll get to the studio. Whether it's time crunch or whether it's just like, I'll just do it another day, and then another day becomes another year.
It goes by quick too. It really does. Tolbat, what's up, brother? He says Unsolved Mysteries theme song so creepy. Yes, you accompanied the Unsolved Mysteries theme song with Robert Stack's voice.
Yeah,
that was nightmare fuel. That shit was scary.
I don't know why, but it's like the theme songs that like in the shows that used to get me. Like if you used to watch a haunting, just like it's like the stories of people who lived in houses and had ghost experience, and it's just called A Haunting. But like the intro to that always gave me like fucking chills, and I'm just like, oh god. I don't remember the last time a movie made me feel like that, but I miss that feeling. I want that feeling back again. I want a movie to make me sleep with the lights on, because it's just it's like a kid on Christmas. You're just like, oh, okay.
That's what you want from these movies, and the score to these is so important. And Trina, we talked about this last year on I can't remember, it was the Phantasm review where I said, people think horror is about the gore, but it's actually all about the score. Because without a good score, you have Halloween when it first premiered and nobody reacted to it, and then Carpenter scored it, and it is a fucking masterpiece now. It is. I don't get, like, people kind of, you'll see people kind of hating on the original Halloween. I'm like, that is a genre fucking defining movie right there, because before, and I love Jason Voorhees, he's my favorite, but Michael came first.
Yeah, he did. And
he did. Michael came first.
Some people would say Michael did it better than Jason. Like, a lot of people would probably say that they like Michael more than Jason, and that's cool. But when it comes to the first Halloween with me, the first watch, I just adolescence, I got bored with it really quickly. And then I got into that movie making process, or that mindset, and then I watched it again, and I was like, fuck, it's actually insane how they pulled this off, especially just like back then, because, well, once again, without that, we wouldn't have a lot of horror movies that exist today. But also, without Halloween, we wouldn't have Madman.
Okay, so Madman came out in 1981. So at this point, you've got Halloween 1, you've got the original Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th Part 2 dropped in 81, I believe. No, 82. I'm sorry, it was 82, because we didn't have a Friday the 13th in 83, because it went to 84 with was it, or no, I'm off by a year somewhere in there, because there was one year where they didn't release one and it jumped ahead. But Dustin Dewberry says, so let's make a horror flick. All these movies are really shitty these days. I'm writing a Friday the 13th fan film, and I need to get this done, because it's, like I said, I figured out, I started out, I had 35 people in the cast. I whittled it down to like 15. And I like I said, I have an affinity for decapitations, because I wrote the close, I wrote the third act of the movie first, and then I wrote the opening to it. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't cut 6 people's heads off in the first 20 minutes of the movie. We need to rethink that. God damn it. But I will say that I will say they're all different, and one of them uses like an entire fucking like road sign, and it's swung like a battle axe, and that's out the window of a van. Yet. No, now somebody's gonna steal it because I'm an idiot and I'll never finish it. And that's okay. That's okay. I want to see it come to life somewhere.
Absolutely.
But speaking of Friday the 13th, it is the 40th anniversary of this fucking awesome movie. And yeah,
so good.
The title cards on those movies were always great too. It's like you'd love to see those, that is that effect. What are they going to do this time? It was always fun. And this one is the kickoff of the Jarvis trilogy, as it were. And this is also part of the, over the same, was it like 4 days, the same weekend, you have 2, 3, and 4 that all take place over that short period of time. And it's crazy to think of that, though. You go from Pillowcase Head Jason in 2 to Richard Brooker, who is just this monster, and then part 4
Ted White.
Ted White. Yep, is Ted White. And the beginning of 4, I love that scene. And you with the helicopters and the ambulance and all it gave it a really cool feel for the opening of a movie. It was like you never got that. I mean, Friday the 13th Part 3, you kind of had that with the news broadcast and the scene where Chris and everybody are driving by in the van and they see the aftermath of the store, which I did use that store in my movie. that Harold and Edna's Market. That's in there too. I had to pay homage to that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
yeah, that was so you get a little bit of that, but yeah, 4 really, they ramped that up in the beginning with the aftermath in the barn.
Yeah,
Which I just there's so, and Corey Feldman was fucking great in this. Like,
absolutely.
child actors can be annoying, and he was good.
They can, absolutely. I used to think, oh God, what was his name? I used to think the kid who played Dylan in Wes Craven's New Nightmare was a little annoying. I used to think it. Yeah. And then ironically, my kid's name is Dylan. Which when I met Robert, he was like, is that a little too on the nose? And I'm like, no, I just named him Dylan, please. But then it came into my head. I was like, oh, it makes sense because Dylan was the kid's name. But yeah, I came around to that kid. But a lot of kid actors can be annoying and just bad in general.
And that'll take you out of a movie. You never really got that with Corey in this because his performance ranged from lighthearted and comedic to that super serious ending where he goes just completely psychopathic and he's the machete, that scene of Jason's head sliding down that machete.
Oh, yeah. That just that like kind of like daze, like and then just the slide down with the brain. Yep. Oh, so good. That's Tom Savini again. I think.
I was just gonna say that's fucking Tom Savini, who is another one, dude. Like I got my picture taken with him, and people are commenting like he looks like he could be your dad. I didn't even realize like how similar we looked, but I was like, he's got it's like I think he's part Hungarian. He's got to be part Hungarian in there somewhere because it's like we have a lot of this, and I'm part Hungarian. It's just that's the only reason I get any color is because I'm Hungarian. And nice. I was like, I was like, he's my long lost father. Somebody commented on Twitter that if you ever met Tom Savini, he'd hate you because of something I said. And I'm like, I met him and we actually had a really nice conversation. It was fucking awesome. Like he
definitely seems like the guy to have a great conversation with.
Oh yeah, he's super cool. Like you're talking about, I got to meet Robert Englund. Me and Draven got our picture taken with Robert Englund, and then Doug Bradley too, Pinhead. That was another awesome one. Yeah, that was super cool. They're like, it's awesome you meet these guys and they're actually like, willing to like sit there and just BS with you for a minute in the middle of like everything going on.
Yeah, so that I like a great story about just meeting someone who I didn't expect to have any like conversation with was I met Meatloaf. It was like 3 weeks before he passed away at Mad Monster. And I asked him just as like a small question. I said, hey, like, do you remember your role in Tenacious D? And had a whole conversation with me for like 25 minutes in the line. People are just like, can I get my picture signed? And and Meatloaf looked at me. He said, hold on, I'm talking to this nice young man. So that was something I won't forget because I was just like,
oh yeah,
I just wanted to get an autograph, but he gave me like a whole backstory and the phone call he had with Jack Black. And that was like probably one of my favorite like interactions alongside Felissa Rose. If you ever met her, highly recommend it. She is such a firecracker of a woman. She's just so excited to just be alive. Basically, she's like, oh my God, like she's so sweet too. Like I knew she was from sleepaway camp, but like because I have like anxiety as a young adult, I don't want to come up to a lot of adults and say something. But I was like, yeah, I'll meet her. I love sleepaway camp, so I said hi, and she exploded. And I was like, yo, this is like the best interaction I've ever had with someone alongside Meatloaf.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's awesome. Trina, you ever have any experiences like that? Any celebrities you met in your travels to where you're like,
nope, I have never met a celebrity.
Really?
Yep, never. Well, I mean, unless you want to count, I went to school with John Cena.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did you know you were in school with them? You can't. Never mind.
I knew he was gonna do it. I saw his brain. He was like, I gotta do it because it's
he
like
said
the
the wheel
ongoing
started.
joke. Yeah, the ongoing joke
like-
is like I have a picture of John Cena and like fucking idiot. There's no one in the pictures. Because it's still going on and it's probably still going to go on even after he's passed away.
Yeah.
I won't let it die.
No. Well, he's already morphed into Jim Varney. I mean, he's gonna,
Okay.
he looks like the buff Jim Varney. I'm waiting for a Hey Vern, It's Ernest reboot, which that's fun. But no, I gotta. Oh my god. Yes. I want to see let's see was Erica Laniak played Ellie Mae. Was it was the daughter's name, was it Ellie Mae was the daughter in that?
Ellie Mae is the daughter. I forget who
played
her.
Yeah, it was Erica Laniak played her, and she was in Under Siege, and she was also in Playboy in the 90s, which I'm pretty sure I still have that issue because Under Siege, I was like, yeah, that came out. I was like 13. I'm like, oh, hello. Yeah, it's one of those fond childhood memories, like Anna Nicole Smith. Before she got fat and got stuck in a bathtub, but that's another story altogether. That was on her E show. No, seriously. And then she went on that remember those, what was that diet fad pill, Trina? Remember that back in the day? The fat burner ones.
Yeah, that stimulant one.
Yes.
Fen.
Something like that. And then she fucking died. Like,
yeah.
She lost all that weight and then just fucking died. It's like, should have stayed. Like, you should have stayed. Look at that's why Amy Schumer never died. Look, I mean, never mind. That's.
Yeah.
Speaking of horror, sit through an Amy Schumer comedy stand-up set. That'll fucking terrify you.
Oh my god.
No, women are not funny.
She's not.
Women are not funny. There's a couple out there who I'm like, shit, she's actually pretty funny. Like, it might be in the minority, but Melissa McCarthy, I think she's fucking hilarious. But
I think she was good she was really good in Bridesmaids. I will say that. Like, she was funny in Bridesmaids. There's specific roles that you can cast people in when the material's right. Like Paul Feig writing the 2016 Ghostbusters was fucking god awful. Paul Feig writing Bridesmaids, that's in his wheelhouse. He knows how to do that female centric stuff more so than he would an action adventure type like a Ghostbusters, a science fiction. Like, that's not his wheelhouse at all. Like the episodes of The Office, like I love The Office.
one of my favorite shows.
Dude, I watch that. That's like that and Seinfeld. They're like comfort food at night for me. I love that. and he does, man. It's like he did great work on that because he's not trying to write action or anything. It's typical day-to-day, funny, the little things like that. He can do that kind of stuff. But the Ghostbusters thing, and I just that movie was fucking god awful.
That was the one with Chris Hemsworth. Wasn't he in that?
Yeah.
Where he was. I think he played like some guy who pretended to be dumb, but then
he was a mimbo. He was a mimbo.
And there's the typical thing.
Of course, you have an all-female thing, so you've got to have the man be stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure there's a scene in there where he takes his shirt off and they have to look because that's. I've seen so many movies where they do that.
Yep.
Well, it's was it the beginning of Avengers Infinity War where the Guardians of the Galaxy find Thor and Gamora's sitting there like rubbing Chris Hemsworth's muscles on his biceps and shit like that. And it's like, if that was a female, if you juxtapose that and put a female in that and Chris Pratt was sitting there rubbing her tits or something like that, or feeling her legs, I mean, it would be all hell break loose. But they do it the other way around, and we've subverted the male gaze, and now we can objectify the males. It's like, that's not equality, that's equity, and that's not realistic. Like, do you understand how that works? Like, that kind, and that
it's revenge.
It is. That's all it is. That's all it is revenge. And that's the thing I don't want to see bleed into horror. And to see that, like the Black Christmas, like we talked about Black Christmas 2019,
Yeah.
That was like, you've taken something that people really love, which that's one of the first slasher movies, is the original 1974 Black Christmas. And you have, like I said, you remade it in 06, and it was like, it's okay. Like, I didn't hate it. It had a very attractive cast. You know, they did that CW kind of casting. I mean, anything with Katie Cassidy back then, I was all for it. You know, I mean, let's be honest, it's Katie from Cassidy, and she always dies and everything. Anyway,
yeah,
always the victim. You know.
Oh, but so does Amy Smart. Is that her name? Amy Smart, who's like in The Butterfly Effect, Mirrors. The list just goes on.
Yep.
Every movie.
Yep. Amy Smart, you know, and then you got Danielle Harris in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, where they did her dirty as fuck.
Oh, man. I remember that.
Yeah, I went to see the first one in the theater, going like, because I liked House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm a Rob Zombie fan. I've seen him in concert 3 times. Like, I like the man's music, but I watched House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm like, okay, and I waited. That was like 01 that came out. You know, I was like, this is fun. I was like 21. I was like, this is fucking great. Devil's Rejects. I was like, okay, like I can. And then
it's
Halloween
a little
came
more,
out.
You know, it's a little bit more.
It's more Rob Zombie. It's twisted.
Yeah, a little bit more trash thrown in there.
Oh, well, it's Rob Zombie. It's the white trash cinematic universe. It's Rob Zombie, you know.
Yes, it is.
Everything has to be white trash with him. It's like that's what got me about Halloween. Like, there was little things in his first Halloween movie that I kind of liked, but there was so much wrong with it. And then the second one came around, and it's like,
they really tried to do something different there, just to say the least. Didn't work.
The white horse, and
I get it. You like Deftones.
It was just like, what? Why? Like, Rob, bro. I'm gonna go Vince Russo, bro, what are you doing, bro? We know your wife's got tits, bro. We don't need to see him anymore, bro. Like, everything, like, I can't with him. And then, like, I didn't see the Munsters, but I heard that was actually like halfway decent. I think Brandon was telling us about that, wasn't it, Trina?
Yeah, I think was it Brandon?
I think it was Brandon from Smith Grove. He said that was actually decent, because we kind of got off on a Rob Zombie tangent then too.
Yes, it was him.
Yeah. But he said that was decent. So I'm like, okay, because I liked the reruns of the Munsters as a kid. Because I'd seen Car 54, Where Are You? So, you know, I knew Grandpa and Herman were in that, and, you know, the old black and white Nick at Night type shit I used to watch. And that so I'm like, I actually, what is it, 13 Mockingbird Lane, or 1313 Mockingbird Lane, or something like that is the name of his Munsters thing, is something like that, or was it just the Munsters? I can't remember.
I forget.
Can't remember.
I can't remember what his, but I want to check it out. I do. It's like I want to do my due diligence. I never did watch the third in the Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. What was that?
3 from Hell.
Oh,
3 from Hell.
Yeah. I heard that was bad. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm fine with the ending of this.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I tried watching. I was like, and this was after I already knew I didn't like Rob Zombie as a filmmaker, but I was like, all right, I gotta try this, because I just gotta try, right? And I'm like getting into it about. I don't think I even made it a half hour, and I'm like, I just can't. It's the same. It feels like the same. Every movie is the same movie.
Yeah, she's
not wrong. I will say he tried to do something pretty different when he did 31. If you've seen 31,
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, well, I think that is probably the least trailer trash type of Rob Zombie film. Is trying to do something really different, and I like 31. So
okay, what's that one? What's that one about? I don't remember.
So of course it has Sherry Moon Zombie in it again. She's with her group of friends. They take a wrong turn down a dirt road. They get kidnapped and captured, and basically it's a cat and mouse game where they're being bid off, like the people who've captured them. They're being bid off of who will stay alive the longest, and they are sending in there to kill them Rob Zombie type of horror characters, like the hillbilly clowns with the chainsaws. Yeah.
Was Sid Haig in that movie?
I don't know if Sid Haig was in that one.
Okay, because I do like him as like the clown he does, Captain Spaulding.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's so many like twisted characters that like enter the playing field to kill them off. Like my favorite one is a character named Doomhead, played by Richard Brake, or I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, he's fucking psychotic. So
Doomhead. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Like I like the movie so much that me and my mom quote it quite often. So yeah.
That's pretty cool though. So that one came out, that 31. I know that's been out for a while, hasn't it? That's probably
2018, I think.
Oh wow, okay.
I don't know. That's it. Yeah, it's an older one.
All right, so that's been out for a minute. It's odd saying a movie in 2018 is older. Jesus.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're talking about Friday the 13th.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. That movie turns 40 this year. Like I said, part 4 turns 40 this year, which that one I have what's her name? Speaking of my Friday 13th merchandise, J-Man got me a kick-ass picture of Kimberly Beck, Trish from Friday the 13th 4, autographed and personalized, that's hanging on the wall of my den. And J-Man and I ranked the entire Friday the 13th franchise. That's available on the horror playlist as well. We went through painstaking detail going through those movies. Let's see. Nice. Are you a fan of I Madman? I have not seen that one. If that's better than Madman, then I'm all for it, because
it's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
It can't get much worse.
It can't be.
Yeah, I mean. You could show an hour and 30-minute long video of a dog having violent diarrhea in a yard, and it would be better than Madman, I think.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, that hurt my brain. Like I said, and I reviewed 3 seasons worth of Batwoman, and this movie fucking hurt. Like it did. It hurt. But I
put myself through that movie like 3 times. So
I
feel sorry, Tyler. I am so sorry.
Well, the good news is it's after it's over, I can always put on a movie that I know is good.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I could also just stop it in the middle, because I have the power.
I know what I have to do, but I'm not strong enough to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Or if the fucking remote falls down in between the couch cushions and I can't reach it, I'm like, shit. Well, I guess we'll just finish it.
Yep. It's right there. I just don't have it in me to do this right now. I really don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm also at that age of I'm only 23, but unfortunately my fucking bones are just brittle. So if I reach down too far and I fuck myself up getting the remote, I'm gonna feel pretty stupid. And I could have ignored the movie.
I'm going to go, bro, let me tell you something about age, bro. I get out of bed if I sleep wrong for 2 hours, bro, and I'm laid up half the day. I need Bengay, ibuprofen, Vicodin, morphine, bro. I am like a fucking 90-year-old sack of bones. That's what you get for using yourself as a human lawn dart, playing football, and being a professional wrestler, though. It's just this shit happens. What did J-Man say? Madman is 1989. Jenny Wright, girl from Near Dark, the star. It's awesome. Okay, so all right. I'm writing that down.
I saw that movie pop up when I was looking up Madman just to see if I can catch any interesting details. Obviously, I didn't. But yeah, I saw that pop up.
Madman 1989.
Is this the real Vinny? Is this the real Vinny posting from X?
Let me see. Let me look over in the X chat. Hang on. Yeah, it is. Hey, what's up, Vinny? Hey, brother. He's over there watching on X right now. Yeah, we got what, 47 people watching right now over there. I have to say I was impressed last night. We had I think 115 watching by the end of the show last night. So
nice.
big things. We're gonna work on something. And I know, gang, I talked about decreasing my streaming schedule here because look, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've streamed 6 nights a week for months and months and months on end. And I finally, we canceled the Wednesday night show. We reorganized things. We rebranded the channel. But I'm kind of working behind the scenes on an X exclusive show right now. Something just for X. No YouTube, no Rumble. Because X is bringing in the views right now. And if we can work things right, we can really take advantage of that and kind of grow the brand more. And this beautiful logo behind me was designed by Vinny. He did the new logo for the channel, and that'll be available on t-shirts by Thursday over on our Teespring store as I've been neglecting that, but it's time to get some new ones. We'll have the Monday, the Place to Be Reviews Monday Nitro shirt available too. And this one, and I need a 4K got gore for the back of it. We need that. So I might have Vinny draw might hire Vinny to do some more artwork for us. He says, "Hey everyone, this is a real account. I just wanted to say hello to my friends." We love you, Vinny. We love you. Yeah, it's looking like we'll be playing some Resident Evil 5 tomorrow, which I'm excited about. But this has been a blast, Tyler, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Absolutely, man. I would be glad to come back anytime.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that because we're always, it's like, hey, if you've been on here once, it's like Olive Garden when you hear your family, except we're not a cheap knockoff Italian restaurant that has a bunch of Mexicans in the kitchen.
I know what you mean because I used to work there. So I'm well aware of what he's talking about.
He understands. He understands. Yeah, it's like, me and Vinny were talking about that's not Italian food. and I've passed the test. I've made my own. I've made the gravy, Trina. I've made the gravy from scratch with the tomatoes I've grown in my backyard.
Nice.
I've minced the garlic so thick it melts in the pan, like they said.
Did you use a razor blade like on what is it, Goodfellas?
I didn't use a razor blade. It was Goodfellas. I didn't use a razor blade. I had was that Casino or Goodfellas?
I think it was Goodfellas.
I think it was good. I get those two mixed up sometimes. But
or was it Godfather?
It wasn't Godfather. It was Ray Liotta narrating it, so that would have been Goodfellas.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
Then, yeah.
It would have been Goodfellas. Yeah. Vinny even says Goodfellas. Yeah, here's authentic Mexican meals, Olive Garden.
Now, see, I feel like Olive Garden gets too much hate because it may not be authentic Italian food, but it is good food.
It's not bad. My mom likes to go there. I take her there after her cancer treatments when we're up in Traverse City.
Okay.
She does. That's what she likes. She likes to go after she gets her treatment. She's like, "Can we go?" Fuck yeah. I'm always bummed because I can't drink. I have to I just let her. I'm like, fuck it, Ma, go ahead. I was like, hey, yeah, it's like it's 2:00 in the afternoon. Have a fucking scotch. Who cares?
Because I was working around that fucking food for so long, it got to the point where the smell of breadsticks coming out of that damn oven.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Fuck off, just give them to the people. And because it got to the point where I was eating, like during my shifts, I would just have a small cup of Dr. Pepper Zero and 6,000 croutons because it was endless.
That's funny.
And water now and then to mix it up. Tyler's Terrifier fan. Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
Actually, no, I did meet the director. Just didn't get a picture with them. That's awesome.
Yeah, J-Man's a big horror fan too. Great guy. Has a great chat. We got to have J-Man on. J-Man, you're going to be slotted for a Tuesday night appearance too here, as much of a horror fan as you are. Because we're trying to book out the guests here through we're getting into May now with booking people for Tuesdays. So yeah, what's up, Lurch? How you doing? Now we got 57 people watching. I don't want to end now.
I know exactly what he means too. Because I used to do like the Instagram lives back in the day just to see if anyone was interested. And if I had like 4 people, I'm like, I don't know if I can click off now. I've been sitting here for an hour talking about the same crap, but you know, I don't want to leave my fans.
Dude, I used to do a morning show called The Morning After. Was it the morning? Yeah, it was The Morning After. And yeah, I'd have like, it was when I first started, and I'd have like, 4, 5, 6 people watch. And it's like, I'd sit there for an hour or so, and it's like, okay. And then we do the night shows, and we used to do the podcast specific. And yeah, it was like, it just got to where we're like, okay, we're done. Because Anchor FM was like the worst podcast app in the history of the interface, was bad. So when I started doing this, you still had to use Google Hangouts for live streams on YouTube.
Oh man.
And yeah, 2019, but like my first YouTube channel I started in I think 2006. So but it was much back then. It was just a little ball webcam and my potato. It took like 2-3 days to upload a video. It was ridiculous. Yep. That shit, oh my God, I will never fucking forget doing that. I was like, oh my God. And there was no editing involved. I didn't know how to fucking edit worth it shit. It was like, I better do this in one take or I'm starting over again.
Oh God, I remember, like, I forget which type of recording device I was using or app I was using, but like it's one take only, and if you didn't get it right, you're fucked. You just gotta, they have to see all the mistakes that you made.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude. Yeah. Editing, like I was like, what, probably 6-7 months in. It's about 6 months in. And I'm like, I need to start editing videos because I'm going to start dropping GIFs in and stuff. And it was like, I downloaded Filmora and I ended up getting like the lifetime package for Filmora for like $60 for Christmas. And it was the best thing because now it just automatically updates anytime Filmora upgrades their thing. I get the upgrade for free. So yeah, that is a fucking kick-ass editing program. Plus, it's so easy a caveman can use it. Which, yeah, I wish I had the editing skills I do now that I did when I worked in radio, just to edit my audio clips and stuff like that. Oh my God, it was that it would have made things so much easier.
I'm still trying to get better at my editing as well, because you got to start somewhere.
Yep. Dude, if you ever need any help or anything, just holler. Always happy to help with that kind of stuff, man. Because I just had to self-teach myself everything. It was like I got a few pointers along the way, but it was mostly trial and error. So if you ever need any help, don't be afraid to holler.
Absolutely. And thanks, J-Man, for subscribing. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, J-Man.
Yes. Make sure, folks, that you're subscribed to, my not only me, but the hell with me, these guys. Subscribe to Tyler and Trina. Fuck me. He wants to fucking everybody comes for the ain't nobody here for me. Fuck that. That's fine. I'm at peace with that. I'm just a facilitator, baby. That's fine. If you will, Daddy, the American dream doth arose. I bring people together through hard times, Daddy. Hard times, baby. But that's enough dusty roads for the night. Sub to them all. That's right, Vinny. That's right. God damn it. And sub to Vinny.
We work hard. No, come on, just hit subscribe. Come on.
Yeah. I always say, you can join as a channel member if you want to. That's cool. But if not, just subscribe. That's free. It always will be.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not, the channel. It's not me on the channel. It's we. It's everybody. Because like I said, if it was just me, I'm just some idiot with a webcam sitting here rambling aimlessly about nonsense. I have a wonderful fucking team around me and wonderful guests like Tyler, and we had great reviews, and Brandon from Smith's Grove Sanitarium, and the Horseman on Monday night. And it is. It's a great team, and I have Goodstuff, my editor, who as soon as we start generating more revenue, I'll be able to put more content out because I'll be able to pay my editor full time again to fucking edit videos, because I can record videos all day. I just don't have time to edit them. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's
I could
it.
record like 3 right now, but then it's about finding the time to edit them.
Yep. Yep. Because the guy, my boy Goodstuff, who edits for me, like, I remember I sent him a video. I'm like, all right, when he first, I said, let's see what you do. And and it came back, and I'm like, this shit is in everywhere, the gift placement. Because I didn't tell him how to do it. I just said, he's watched my stuff. He knows how I work my jokes in. So I'm like, he sent me back. I'm like, oh, dude, this is spot on with my humor. Okay. So it was like, for a while, I've sent him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos a week, sometimes 8, and it's like, but once we lose those channel members, then it's more because I told us I don't want to dip into my own pocket to put money into the channel, which I've done from time to time, and that's fine. It happens. But yeah, tickle them like buttons.
I put money into my channel because of everything I review, but that is because I'm super passionate about it. So I don't mind. Unless it becomes like ridiculously priced, because half the stuff that I get, like, I try to go for the cheapest that I can, because like I'm sure you even remember back like when your son was a baby, how fucking expensive baby formula is. Oh my god,
dude! Between that and diapers, you're talking a mint right there. I mean, that shit is. Yeah, it's nothing is cheap, man. And especially when it comes to this stuff too, because you buy like the NECA figures and stuff like that. Like, Trina, you were on that stream when I ordered my Michael Myers and Loomis from Halloween 2, that 2-pack. The only reason I ordered that is because it was half price. It was like $49. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, so you're a bastard, because I paid like 80 for mine.
I scooped that up with the quickness. It's like I got that cheap.
Well, I didn't want to miss out. I was like, I gotta have it.
Yep. They're gorgeous figures, and it's like you buy some of that stuff, and you get.
All right.
Draven did say earlier Vinny was full of shit because the Resident Evil 1 remake is garbage. So Vinny's firing back at him.
It's not garbage. I gotta say, it is awesome. I do like the Resident Evil 1 remake, but I like the 4th one better than the first one. But that's just from childhood, just memories.
Yeah,
Can't tell you how many times I finished that game.
I want to replay the first one, so I probably end up, after we finish 5 and 6, I'll go back and I'll do the remake, maybe a 1. Yeah. See, yep, right here. Draven's an AEW fan. That tells you everything.
We were talking about that earlier.
Wait, do I have? I think I have the picture up here for Draven. Hang on, we have to switch brands and go over to Nitro here for a second, because I have the picture here for Draven. Right there.
Oh my god.
We really do. Like I said, it's not like we're just red because we love Draven. He's gonna be at my house this weekend, but I gotta rib the guy because he fucking thinks Jason can teleport. Which I want you to weigh in on this, Tyler. What do you
Jason can teleport?
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
No. Just because the game did it and it can be explained in some scenes, I guess. No.
Yeah.
No, he can't.
Yeah.
Draven
might be. We're gonna replace Draven with Tyler.
No, he doesn't, Draven.
We're gonna replace Draven.
Just leave it at that.
Tyler. We're gonna have to have Draven on so he can debate Tyler on here.
Yep.
It's gonna be a long just back and forth. Like, no, he can teleport. No, he doesn't.
Yes. That's exactly how it'll be too.
And Etep be in the corner like, can I get my question in? And we're like, hold on. Explain how he teleports. Yeah, it would go on and on.
Oh, the fucking teleporting Jason. I don't care if he does it. It's just to piss me off. I know, you prick. Why, Draven? That's it. Why are you gay? Why? Why? God damn it! This is.
Don't try that Halloween shit with me.
Try that with me, Draven. And as much as I love that movie, I just want to know why he had the hockey shoulder pads on.
I just exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't get that either.
Like it's funny. I went from being built more like Jason Voorhees. Now, like I said, I'm like 6'3", I'm 215, I'm more slender. I'm the perfect Michael Myers at this point because he's booked at like 6'1", 205. Like that's the thing about Michael Myers. He was never a big hulking. And then here comes Rob Zombie. Yeah, I need somebody who's 7 foot tall and weighs 300
Tyler Mane.
pounds. Yeah, Tyler Mane. Nothing against Tyler, dude, but he's way too fucking big to be Michael Myers. Like that is not no, he's not a fucking brute.
Like when you go from like the character who played the kid in that remake, Dake, and then you go to fucking Tyler. Like he was sitting in that sanitarium for years. And what the fuck was he doing to get that buff and just nothing?
It's not prison. They're not giving him like time in the yard for weights. He's shackled. Well, wait, no, that was the. I'm getting some of this shit like in the 2018 when he was like chained to the middle of the yard.
Well, he had shackles on in the Rob Zombie one when they had to escort him, but he was also just making masks all day.
Yeah, they're giving him objects that are capable of. Yeah, is that something you really? Yeah, is that something you really do with a fucking deranged psychopath? Like that's that big and that fucking imposing and has that fucking strength. Like, is that what you're really gonna do? Like, you're gonna give him
exactly.
What? What the hell, Vinny? What the hell?
I take offense. Vinny.
Me too.
I know.
On both the front.
Gosh.
Jason is not retired, and what's wrong with being a Trekkie? Like, what the fuck?
Listen here, Vinny.
I'm gonna go kick him out of my chat. Hold on.
We kick him out of my chat. That's it. We're putting you in timeout. Put user in timeout. He's not retarded.
Timeout.
That's it. Just
why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
You are gay.
Jason has re-strike, but that's it. God damn it, Vinny.
I don't forget things. I'm gonna be laying in bed tonight just thinking of Vinny, what he said. I'm just gonna go, motherfucker, you son of a...
God damn it, Vinny.
He swings his machete around, he flies behind it like Thor. Fuck. I mean, if he did exactly what Thor did, that would be pretty insane.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Jason summon the machete like Mjolnir now.
That would be just
go flying with it like in Ragnarok.
Legit. Why not? Lightning brought him back to life. It works.
She's not wrong. He's also been to space.
Yeah, that's what Godzillionaire said.
Tech and Tyler said that's my man Wooten right
That's
there.
my friend Tyler. What's up, man?
Oh, that's the other Tyler.
Yeah, the one who's like a big horror fan as well, like neck and neck.
Welcome. The other Tyler.
Welcome to Jason X. Man can teleport.
What?
Look, I don't. I barely acknowledge Jason X. Like, I just look at that like fan fiction. I know Kane was in it. It's a fun movie.
Get in the car, driveway, stop, get out, and Jason's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, so remember part 6 when they were driving down the road and Jason was just standing there? It's not teleportation. It's called good timing.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is movie magic. This is not teleportation. No, this is just movie magic.
Yeah, he can be raised from the dead and dismembered and brought back, and teleportation is your issue. Come on, fuck you, Draven. Yes, teleportation is my goddamn issue.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is, and I will draw the line in the sand right there and die on this hill.
They can make him resurrect in the most impossible way in Jason Goes to Hell. Fine. They brought him back with a kind of reasonable explanation in Jason Goes to Hell. So fucking what? It doesn't mean he can teleport just because he's been resurrected a bunch of times. Michael Myers can't. He's just a man in a mask.
Yes. Yeah. And he got beat up by Corey Cunningham.
We're still acknowledging that happened.
He got beat up by Corey Cunningham. Why didn't the Ninja Turtles save him? They were in the sewer. I'm sure Splinter was just sitting back watching, going, "This is not funny watching Michael Myers get beat up by this guy who got picked on by the band nerds 2 scenes ago." They threw him off a fucking bridge, and he's gonna take out Michael Myers. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
What?
Jason is not a fucking deadite either.
No. Look, in the comics, yeah, that's what he was told in his brain, once again, by fucking Freddy, I believe, to get the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon in Jason Goes to Hell, it don't mean shit. It was just an homage for the horror fans. He didn't use it.
They had to apologize for using the dagger. They took. No, he's not a fucking deadite. And first of all, fucking Adam Marcus. He got that job because he was Sean Cunningham's son's best friend, and Sean told him get rid of the fucking mask. And then we got Jason's now a body jumping fucking spirit fucking worm. Slug, yeah. No. I saw that in the theater and I was pissed. Like after the beginning of that movie, you're like, oh shit, like this is gonna be great. And then the corner eats the fucking heart. And you're like,
yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Because Jason's spirit said, eat this heart. Yeah.
Oh, that was so bad.
That was like the only cool thing was we got the Kane Hodder cameo in the hallway as the SWAT officer. That was like the end of the movie where he goes back to being Jason was like kind of cool.
I mean, kind of, but like it's like no different, and also no different movie length than it was in the beginning where he just got killed again.
Yep.
I like the fact that Kane Hodder was poking fun at Jason. He's like, that Jason ain't nothing but a big old pussy. And I'm like, but that's you.
It's apparently not fond of his own work. I was not when I saw that movie. Like I said, I'm original 8 Paramount Jason kind of guy. I did see Freddy vs. Jason in the theater. It's got a good soundtrack, but
absolutely.
Jason was never going to get justice over at New Line. He wasn't. That's the house that Freddy built. So they're gonna, put their guy over. It's like somebody going from WCW to WWF back in the day. The Vince is always going to put over his own guys. So, the New Line movies. Jason X is dumb fun. I'll say that. I don't hate that movie because it's a fucking garbage movie. I'm like, man, there was so many things because that's when we thought we were going to get Freddy versus Jason, but they placated us because they wanted to put something out and keep it relevant. And that's what we got, was Jason X, which, I would rather watch that than Jason Goes to Hell any fucking day.
Any day. You kidding me? I would rather watch Jason X than Leprechaun 4 in space. When it comes to space movies, I'll take Jason in space. That little green fucker. My God.
He went to space. He's been to the hood twice. I mean, shit. Leprechaun's been everywhere.
Been to Vegas too.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Jesus Christ, the fucking leopard. That's another one. Like, just don't ever make any more of those. Just please stop.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch the first one and just be like, okay.
Yep.
And so, if it was a one-off, sure, but they kept going, and they probably will go further because money.
Because money. You know, that's like them coming back with the Critters, the new Critters series. I didn't watch that. No, I'm like, I don't need this. I don't.
Bringing back Critters. Bringing back. You mentioned this the other night about the remake of The Crow, like how it's just like the idea of it's just like skin crawling.
Yeah,
and you've only seen the first one.
Yep, I saw the Eddie Furlong one, which I don't really acknowledge, nor should anyone else ever. But no, I've never seen 2 and 3. So I do want to watch those because I really like the first one. That was the first. Fuck the Crow.
It's not even out yet. But I get the hate for the. I'm actually gonna go see the remake of The Crow as well because the original Crow is like top, like just best like dark like movies like ever, and I've seen all of The Crows. Part 2 was okay. Part 3, I liked a lot, especially the story behind how he became the Crow. I also like the Eddie Furlong Crow. I don't know, just dumb fun, but it's also David Boreanaz just being like didn't we kill that guy? I'm like, oh, okay. Also, T2 gives me a lot of like, you know, memories of Eddie Furlong, so I guess seeing him do the Crow was something up my alley.
Okay. Yeah, Terminator 2 is a fucking that movie is perfect. That is a perfect movie. Like they never needed to make another Terminator after that, and then we got Terminator 3. Only the OG Crow movie counts.
I mean, yeah. I hope he sparkles in the new movie. All right.
They should have just got Darby Allin to play the fucking Crow. He basically wants to be Sting anyway. Let him play the Crow. But no, you were talking about remakes. The Hellraiser remake is getting a sequel reportedly, which I was like, no, don't do that. They did. That movie was so boring.
You know, I forgot that movie existed until just now.
Yeah, it was just bleh. Like nothing. Like okay, like everybody. The characters, you didn't give a fuck about any of the characters. Like none of them. And then everyone's like, oh well, because the actress Jamie Clayton is trans. Everybody's like, oh. But you know what? It didn't matter because to me, I'm looking at Jamie Clayton. She's not an act, and I'm saying she's not an activist. You never hear her out there complaining about anything. Wanted to come in, play the fucking role, did the role. And the original Hellbound Heart, the fucking book, the Hell Priest is androgynous female leaning. So they went back, and even Doug Bradley acknowledged that. So that was Clive Barker's original vision. And that part of the story was like, it was fine with the way they did and designed the Cenobites in this because it was more true to the original. But the movie was just boring. The coolest thing was seeing the different configurations of the puzzle box, the lament configuration.
Yeah.
I have to own one of the it in the Leviathan form. That's really what I want. If you're listening, that's what I want him to be holding for my tattoo is the Leviathan configuration of it because I fucking love that. That is the dopest fucking version of it. I love that. I'm not okay with these shit remakes. Just go back and watch the originals. I own the Hellraisers. Not all, but they're
not all. But there's a lot.
But they've grown more creatively bankrupt over the years to where they're just like attempts at shot for shot remakes, and they just come off as hollow husks. I don't
get the point of the shot for shot. Like,
no.
Like why do I want to watch the same thing again? Like I want diversity when it comes to this shit. That's what I was hoping when I saw. Well, obviously the Hellraiser thing, but then it just came down to just being boring. It's just like, is this movie over yet? And it also came down to that, like for I Know What You Did Last Summer, the series that like died instantly. They're like, yeah, let's try this, and then it just died because it was just so bad.
I didn't even know they made a series out of that.
Yeah.
Making 2 movies was bad enough. Didn't they make 3? Is there 3 of them?
3. Yeah. I know. I still know. I'll always know.
Yeah, I saw 2. That was and the second one I was watching going like, I know Jennifer, what's her name? Jennifer Love Hewitt's got fantastic tits, but I mean, come on. I mean, this is a fucking horrible movie. That was it Urban Legend? That was another one. Urban Legend. And then they made Urban Legend Final Cut, and I'm like, why? Did we need Urban Legend with a sassy black woman in it? The security guard? Is that why we needed this movie? No, I don't. No, I just those movies were just bad. The Urban Legend movie just was like, okay, you're just doing this because of I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, and that's what this is. It's like, hey, look, we have a pretty cast, and somebody's picking them off one by one, and go. That's the movie. That's it. Let's cast these actors that are like hot right now. Contemporarily, they're hot, so we'll bring them in. And that was like the Fantasy Island remake that Blumhouse did, which
fuck, I forget who was in that one, but I saw that one.
What's his name? Was it Michael Pena, the guy from the Marvel movies, the Mexican dude, I think it is. He was like the lead in it. He played Mr. Rourke, who you're replacing, and Michael Pena is funny, but you got you're replacing Ricardo Montalban. Like, come on, man. Like, I watched the original Fantasy Island show as a kid. It wasn't a horror show. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, and I agree, J-Man. Those are intro slashers, one-timer movies for sure.
The I Know What You Did Last Summers and all those.
Yeah.
Those. Scream, the original Scream, I did see in the theater. I love the original Scream. That movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I like Scream. I love Scream up until 3, and then 4 is I don't know. After that, it just goes off a cliff.
I mean, she's not wrong. I've seen all of the Screams, and like I don't think there is a bad film in the franchise, but there is like some bad things. There are bad decisions that they made. I mean, especially with like the newer ones, Scream 6, especially without Neve Campbell in it.
Yeah.
I've never seen one past part 2. I have not seen the Scream movie past the second one. I believe I saw that in the theater too when that dropped. But by the third one, I was like, I don't really need any more of this. I was just like, I was content with the first 2. I'll have to check. I'll check. I mean, I'll check it out. I know it's streaming somewhere. I'll be able to watch it because that one was made. What, the first one was 96. 96. Yeah, 96. And the second one was like what, 98, around there, 99.
It was 98.
And then 2000, wasn't it?
The third one was 2000.
Yeah, the third one was 2000 was the third one. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Etep was merely 20 years old at that point with a full head of hair and no facial hair whatsoever back then. Let that sink in. Yeah. Lurch hates Scream. I liked it, man. I did. It was a cool concept, and Wes Craven really like came back into the horror. But you're talking about Wes Craven's New Nightmare earlier. I remember seeing that in the theater and being absolutely enthralled with that movie because it was fucking terrifying. How they brought Freddy into the real world in that. Because that came out, I was like 15, and I saw that. My mom took me to the theater to watch that, and God damn it. Breaking news: Darby Allin died, self-inflicted gunshot wound a few years back. But John Podesta was saddened by the loss of his son, crawling in his skin. There you go. There's my Chester Bennington. There you go, Draven. I love you. I love you, Draven. Yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare was a fucking great movie. That was the concept. Like the scene where the husband dies in the truck in that is magnificent.
Yeah. I quote that one a lot, especially when I'm driving late at night home from work and just yeah, because it just plays in my head. I'm like, I'm looking at my lap, I'm like, there better not be a fucking glove there.
Right? That's the last thing you want when you're driving home. Is a Freddy glove hitting you in the nuts when you're trying to stay awake. Final Destination was pretty good, but they sequeled it to death. Yes. Yeah, the first one's great. The second one has the logging truck, isn't it?
That second one has scarred me forever. Driving.
Yes.
No, I will not get behind that truck.
My wife and I were talking about that. Every time we're in the vehicle, it's like we both think the same thing. We see a logging truck, and it's like, yep, here's Final Destination time coming up. It's like, fuck, I don't want to get hit with this thing. Speed around it.
Yep. Yeah. And as an adult, when you're driving on the road, it actually happens a lot more than you would think driving behind one of those fucking trucks.
Oh yeah. I see, like, every time I go to my parents, I see at least two because there's a lot of logging companies around here. So yeah, I'll see those all the time. And I'm always like, God damn it. I was like, I'd rather get stuck behind a load of gravel than fucking these logs, I mean, like, ugh. And that was the one scene we talked about Eli Roth, and we reviewed Thanksgiving, our first episode.
Yeah, I watched that episode. Great episode.
And thank you, man. That scene with the front of the ship that comes through and takes out Grandpa's face.
Yeah.
That was, and me and my wife just watched that, Trina. She finally got to watch it. We laid in bed and watched that together. And she loved it.
It was awesome. I love that movie.
Yeah. She loved that movie.
The killer at the end reveal, I didn't want it to be him. I was like, fuck, it's McDreamy. Damn it.
Right. That's what I was like. McDreamy's the bad guy.
And the way that they like revealed it, it was almost kind of like in the same realm of like Ghostface. It was just like, you look at the shoes, and I was like, oh fuck, they're not doing this. They're not. And then he goes, like, imagine if I was like a second behind you, like, yeah. And I was like, no fucking way. And no, fuck, it was McDreamy. And I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, it was very same. It was very like a take on Scream, I think, that part.
Well, there was nods to a lot of stuff in that.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That one there was a lot of homages paid in that, which was really cool to see. Because it was like I said, I had fun watching that movie. Trey didn't, but he said he lasted 2 minutes and left the room crying. So it was
grocery. That's the grocery store scene. I mean, because it is something that can happen, not as to that extent. I don't think these days, but like the guy getting his neck cut with the glass on the side of the door. That one, I was like, shit, that could potentially happen. The shopping cart ripping that woman's scalp off. I don't know if that could happen. It was also it looked like it came off a little too easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, it peeled off like a fucking a wrapper off a cupcake.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like it also, that scene made me so mad because of it's actually how some people have reacted on like Black Friday. Like I've seen it in person. Like, give me that fucking toaster. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Jesus.
Oh, I worked retail, so I've been there for not only Black Fridays but Y2K. That was everybody's buying batteries and water and shit, and then nothing happened. All the computers just rolled over like they were supposed to. And we were fucking idiots going like, oh my God. And then the next year 9/11 happened. We're like, the government's like, gotcha.
At least you're stocked up on batteries.
That's it. I got enough D batteries to power my boombox from 1985. I'm good. I'm good to go. I can listen to my Run DMC mixtape and
there you go.
Actually, me. It's Licensed to Ill by the Beasties, Trina.
All right. Love Beastie Boys.
I was so pissed when I was looking at T-shirts and I saw they had the Beastie Boys T-shirts and it said, it said it had their names. It said R.I.P. Was MCA on the bottom of it. They didn't have my fucking size. They did not have my size. I was like, damn it. I'm like, I needed that shirt. I'm like, that was a T-shirt I had no problem paying $45 for. I'm like, I will do that because it's convention prices.
Yeah, I wanted one that it wasn't a convention. I forget where it was at, but someone had like a really awesome looking Lane Staley one from Alice in Chains. And
I love Alice in Chains.
My fucking singer idol, man. Like, and they didn't have my size. I was like, happiness is temporary. So that's just when I said it to myself, and now it's become like my thing. Like, especially if I get like sick tomorrow, I'm like, well, I wasn't sick for quite a while, but happiness is temporary.
Yep.
Yeah. God, I still remember that day.
Have a good one, J-Man. Thanks for being here.
J-Man, I wrote them down. The official
Unpleasant Dreams.
Notepad.
Shit.
They're written down. Speaking of dreams, I want to find it, Trina. We got to watch Bad Dreams at some point. That's another one. I want to see if it's as good as I thought it was when I watched it as a kid. And then again, I haven't seen it since I was probably I would say a teenager. So it's been a couple years since I've seen that. So that's one. It's kind of like another Nightmare on Elm Street knockoff. And the guy that played that came
sounds
out
like it.
And hang on, let me see. Bad Dreams. I think it was 88. 1988, and the that has what's her name in it? Jennifer Rubin, of course. The very beautiful Jennifer Rubin is the main character, and Richard Lynch plays the cult leader Franklin Harris, and he is he was an odd actor. I've watched some behind the scenes stuff about him. He was very odd, and it has Harris Yulin, and he was in Scarface and a bunch of other movies. He always plays like an asshole or a crooked cop. So she's part of a cult, and what's his name? Richard Lynch's character burns the entire cult. Like, they all die except she survives. So he can't let her go, and she's in a coma for 13 years. And she wakes up and he's haunting her, and he starts picking people off around her one by one. And it's kind of a cool movie. So it's something that I want to watch and do a review of on one of the streams, because it was like I said, it was one of those movies that it was scarier than Freddy for me, just because it was more like, it wasn't a guy with a glove on his hand. It was just this nutcase cult leader. So if that makes sense,
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
A lot more enveloped in reality than,
Oh, absolutely.
Freddy.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah.
What was the one you wanted to do next? I can't remember the name of it.
Shocker. We're gonna do Shocker.
That's
Shocker.
The one.
We're gonna do Shocker next week. That's the Wes Craven movie that's 88, I believe it is. But yeah, we'll review Shocker for next week. But yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. Tyler, I want to post your link again, and we'll give you the solo here, and tell the people where they can find you, and tell them about your channel one more time, sir.
All right. Well, you can find my channel. He'll put the link down there. It's just Tyler Wooten. My channel is predictive of a lot of different horror things, mainly cosplay and cosplay improvements. Some horror movies reviews may come down the line, and also prop reviews. But I love doing reviews of masks and things. It's just one of my favorite things to do. And if you're interested in watching that, you can check that out on my channel below.
Thank you for being here, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you. It's been a blast, man. What a way to spend a Tuesday night.
Dude, I'm happy to have you. And like I said, that's why I watched your videos. I kept hounding you in the comment sections. I'm like, I can't find where else to get a hold of him. I'm gonna keep commenting until
I gotta start
Roman Reigns and acknowledges me.
I gotta start putting my social media. I didn't think to do that. I don't know why.
All right. That's all right, man. But we got you here, and we'll have you back on, brother. Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
We might even, if you're available one day, have you review Tales from the Crypt with us. That'd be fun to have you sit in for one of those. Hell yeah. And here's Trina's link. Trina, go ahead. I'll solo you too. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Real Horror. Yeah, that's my Twitter. You can sub to me there as well, or follow me, I should say. You can pretty much find right now. Just find toy reviews on my channel, and on Thursday nights with Vinnieart and our friend Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, we do toy stream collectible past. I'm not sure if we'll be doing one this week. Tommy is away for the week, but those are always fun Thursday nights at 8:30. Yeah, I'm usually just hanging out with these guys, having fun. That's about it. This was a blast. It was awesome to meet you, Tyler, and thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. And anybody watching on the replay, thank you as well.
I know I'm going to watch this again. I'm going to watch all of it and be like, oh, it's so fucking cool I did that, because this is like the coolest thing I've done with my channel this far. So, yeah, I would be glad to come back and talk about the Tales from the Crypt or any other, bad movie from the 80s.
Dude, we'd love to have you back. Love your enthusiasm for the genre and for the subject matter you cover, man. Like I said, the prop building stuff is awesome. Those machetes were dope. Yeah. So glad to have you. And Trina, thank you as always for just being an awesome co-host and tolerating my stupidity on a regular basis. I appreciate it. I do.
Well, thank you for doing this stream.
Oh, this is my pleasure. Like I said, from the time we decided to do this and replace the classic wrestling on Tuesdays with the horror show, rebrand the channel, there was only one person who was going to be Mrs. Co-host, and she's right here. So I appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do. We do appreciate you. So
it was great to meet Trina as well. She's very something about her vibe. I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, it was awesome to meet you and it's been a blast talking with you as well.
For both of you as well.
Oh, man. Absolutely, brother. It has been fantastic. And thank you, everybody in the chat. Draven said he subscribed to your channel, Tyler. Great. Dude, let's help we lift each other up around here. That's what we do, man. I want everybody in the chat, make sure, subscribe. Links right here in the description to the video. It's in the chat. You can find it. You guys know where to find me. I'll work on some videos. We'll have at least one for channel members this week. And I'm still working on the Friday the 13th video. I'm not going to put out something subpar, though, for you guys. I want to make sure that shit's fire when I drop it, so YouTube can bury it in the algorithm and it'll get fucking 20 views. But I'll do I got a wrestling video. I got to watch Raw from Monday night, and I'll do reviews of the last 2 weeks. And if you guys respond to those, I'll do SmackDown as well. I'm not doing AEW, though. I'll leave that bullshit to Draven.
What about Juggalo Championship Wrestling?
I'm a recovering juggalo. My wife is related to Shaggy Two Dope, so
shit.
I'm a recovering juggalo. That's another story altogether, though. I still listen to the clowns, though, from time to time, because
nice.
you never completely grow out of that. But thank you, everybody on X, for watching tonight. You guys make up the lion's share of the viewership now, and trust me, we're working on something special for you guys over there on X. Thank you, everybody on Rumble, for watching as well. I accidentally streamed on my profile over there instead of my actual Rumble channel tonight, so nobody will see that stream. And, it's Rumble, so we've got cobwebs and dust bunnies kicking around on the Rumble channel. I'm going to shut the fuck up, though, and let you guys go home, folks. I'm Etep from the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one. Remember,
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Love you guys. Have a great evening. Catch you on the next one.